Streaming live from the beautiful city of Hollywood, Florida, USA. This is SoFloRadio.com.
Welcome to the George Rodriguez blog. I am a blogger. Blog to you. Before the show begins, I wish to share my latest Trek experience, for as you well know, Star Trek touches all the lives in the Federation blogosphere. To soothe the heartbreak of UPN scheduling change of enterprise, which I consider to be an act of murder, I launched an excursion to the planet Circle K, and as I was filling my arms with blueberry cream pocket pies for my pockets, I happened upon a jar filled with pink fluid containing what I believe to be one of Gene Roddenberry's severed peninsula. This rare item will soon be available for bid on eBay, with the subspace time rift continuum until the reserve price is met. I thank you in advance for your bids. And now if you'll excuse me, I must use this giant brush to cleanse the cheese from my fat folds.
We the Congress, in order to form a more right-wing union, establish more rules and cut funding for public TV. Provide more money for our defense. Abolish pro-choice and welfare and show the blessings of liberty to ourselves and all those who agree to ordain and demolish all those left-wing liberals from the United States of America. Lick me, Newt.
And I got to get up and hit the play again. Why don't you? Oh, there it goes. The stupid commercial thing that they have on YouTube now. You got to choose what commercial you want. None of them. I want to see how my levels are doing over there.
Levels are good.
All right. Well, maybe to you. A little lower. All right. No, lower. Back it off a little. All right. There we go. Sounding good. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Nobody's here except for Jack Frost.
Yes, sir.
And myself now. I have a problem with the Jack Frost thing already because I think your normal name is cool enough. I think people that have already cool-sounding radio names shouldn't be allowed to go
to
make
partake in the other ones.
Leave the fake names for those of us with boring ass names. Very soon, though, and it just they're forcing my hand to spin off the Ivan Bad show.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to split programming over here on the radio station. More on that later. More on that. Yeah. I don't want to start talking about morons just yet about what's going on with the government shutdown. Just give me a second here. But yeah, we've been talking about the language thing for a long time, so I think it's time to split off now that we're in the new studios and we have everything kind of down to I don't want to say a routine because we just keep having all these technical things every day. Although at least today, so far, it seems like the video is working, and who knows? It took 22 minutes for it to crash yesterday during By the Glass. Here's a tip, though. Don't do anything. Like, now that the video is set up,
right?
Don't even minimize that window. Just click on other things, not that window, and let that window go off into the background and there. And just don't expand it. Don't minimize it. Just ignore it, pretend it's not there, because this is the troubleshooting process. I don't know what happened yesterday that it froze up on By the Glass. It's been freezing up on everybody's show, including my own. So I don't know what's causing it to do that. It could be something, or it could be nothing. That narrows it down, right? Something or nothing. I mean, because it's the computer world.
Great troubleshooting skills.
And I don't want the Apple heads to say, well, if you were using an Apple, stop.
Shut up.
Just stop.
Please.
I'm telling you. If we were using an Apple, we wouldn't be able to do anything. So I see the image up there. We got a little monitor going on, and I think we're airing. Can you open up the SAM? I see levels moving up and down on the SAM thing there. Great. We're set. One show in a row. Very excited. Speaking of shows, Roger Cuco Ortiz and DJ, I want to call him Flame. It's Fuego. I can't.
Fuego.
Forcing me to switch back and forth between English and Spanish hurts my brain. So DJ Fuego and Roger Cuco Ortiz of Game Bros are going to be here. That's a show that's going to be coming onto the SoFlo Radio and SoFlo Television bands, channels,
Welcome aboard.
streams, and so they're gonna show up, and I don't know, maybe we'll start drinking, like we did on By the Glass yesterday. Great show on By the Glass yesterday. The Wynwood Brewing Company was in the house. Nice guys. One of the buddies, one of the visitors, because you missed it because you were down during. It was a very eventful Thursday night last night because you were down at Jada Cole's with John Etch and the sports heads. You are one of the sports heads.
More drinks.
Right there. There it is.
Yeah.
Your head.
Yeah.
It's a sports head right there. You can play ball with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys were down at Jada Cole's having some drinks, and we were here having some drinks. The Wynwood Brewing Company guys, one of the guys is Danny Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. So
Very festive Thursday.
or Daniel or something like that, or David. No, it was David Rodriguez. I got to get it right. And, of Cuban descent. And so, we continue to rule the world, and now we're going to rule the brewing world too. Mm-hmm. Thanks to the Wynwood Brewing Company. Really nice things. They have a beer when you find it, and they have it over here at what is it? The Tipsy Boar, right on a block from where we're sitting right now, where they have a lot of exotic beers and food. And I go there not often enough. You thought I was going to say often, but not often enough. Been there a couple times, but they have their beer there, and I really encourage you to try La Rubia. Here we go with the Spanglish again.
Why so?
Because it's good, and it's like no other beer I've ever tasted. It has a nutty flavor, like a hazelnut flavor to it. I like the taste of hazelnut. Hazelnut is my second favorite nut. Oh, okay. You didn't even let me get to the punchline. All right. I guess you just
I get it.
Told the punchline in your head, and,
right.
And there you go. So that's what, and I was telling the guys on the show last night. I have like Don Francisco hazelnut coffee is my favorite coffee. I have hazelnut flavored non-dairy creamer for those of you who enjoy non-dairy creamers, and that's what most of us who enjoy a fine cigar, that's that flavor that we're looking for. When the cigar starts getting about a third of the way in, or no later than half the way in, you should start getting that nutty note, that nutty flavor from it.
I've heard you explain that before as far as cigars are concerned.
Yeah.
I never understood it. I never understood the phenomenon.
One of these days, and it's not for everyone, and you might not get it the first time out. It took me a long time, and I was one of those people that I couldn't smoke cigarettes, so I had to compensate. I didn't want to look like a total, dork, not smoking anything, so I would smoke like Tiparillos. But my first cigar, well, that's what they sold at the convenience store, right there next to the cigarettes. So my first cigar was one of those. I think my cousin had a baby, and they gave me, the baby cigar, passed it out. Oh, man, turned me green. I was like 9 or 10 or 11 or something. Turned me green. I didn't vomit from that, but I all but passed out. I was on the couch just groaning, all dizzy, like, ooh, that's horrible. How could anybody do that? And I thought the same thing about alcohol, and look at me now. I'm getting way better at the drinking. You thought, how can you be getting any better than already the professional drinker that you are?
Thanks to By the Glass, by the way.
Thanks to By the Glass. So we enjoyed their beverages, and then Rob hung out. We had a little chit-chat. Rob wasn't ready to roll yet. So I said, man, I'm not the last man. I mean, I will be the last man standing at the bar. I'm not going to be the first one out. I'll be the last one out. And Rob's like, I'm not ready to stop drinking. And I said, well, all right, then let's have some. And I spun the carousel of fortune over there.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some. I had some scotch, that giant bottle of scotch from the week before when we were trying scotches out on By the Glass. And here's a review. You see over there upside down in the carousel, the Jim Beam honey. There's also Jack Daniel's has a Tennessee honey flavored. I don't know what got up my butt and inspired me to buy some honey. It said infused with natural honey and liqueur. And I like liqueurs.
It sounds good. It's a great description.
It does. And I think you're a little bit louder than me when you talk into your microphone. It does sound good, but it doesn't taste good. I mean, well, all right. Let me qualify that. It's sweet, and that's not what I'm going for when I drink a whiskey. I like a nice dry whiskey. I like Jim Beam just regular by itself, and that's what I should have gotten it. I almost got it. I was on my way to get it, and then the honey was right there next to it. And I thought, let me give this a twirl. So there's my review. If you like syrupy tasting, because I don't drink regular soda. If you're a regular soda drinker and you like the taste of regular soda, that sugary flavor in your mouth, then get yourself some Jim Beam honey. And if you don't, if you're trying to get over sweets like I am, then don't get that. Just get your regular old Jim Beam and drink it warm in a cup like I do, and just stick with the originals. It was an experiment, and it failed. There's my Jim Beam product review for the day. When the Game Bros show up, we're going to be doing a lot of game reviews. I wish that I was as up to date on that as I am on other things like the news. But I stopped playing. I stopped playing computer games when everything became a matter of thumbs.
Yeah.
My thumbs, they don't work. They're pretty good for like I can stab myself in the eye with my thumb.
But why would
I've
you
done
do
that for several. It's fun, thumb fun.
It's a different type of fun.
Thumb thing fun. It is a different kind of fun. Not on purpose. Here's what happens. All right, so I'm wearing a hat like this, right?
Right.
And just let's say I happen to be drunk. Okay.
Which is not.
Just
yeah.
and, you know,
No.
that's how is today different than any other day? Little Jewish for you there.
Halamatuk.
There's no such language as Jewish. There's no such language as Cuban. But
Yiddish.
Yiddish is the slang. It's Hebrew is the actual language. Yiddish is a form of Pidgin German with other elements thrown into it, and it's great. But nevertheless, so I go to take my hat off. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Mr. Know That Perception. This is a visual because you got to see how this works.
Okay.
I go to take my hat off, and I go a little bit too far, and then bam, there goes the thumb right in my eye. Because I was drunk, and you
happens
know how
when
you
you're drunk.
you shouldn't be drunk driving. Well, I drunk drove my thumb in my eye.
Yeah, I've
it's
seen
bound
you
to happen.
do.
So I went on to drink after the show, after
Worship
the
things.
after party, after glass. Rob from the Daily Beer Review hung out, and we had another drink. And then I went drinking with one of my drinking buddies. She had no work tomorrow. She had the day off, and I hadn't seen her in a long time. We had some catching up to do, and since she's a drinking buddy, we drank. And so, I don't know, 12:30, 1 o'clock, I finally got to bed, drunk as a skunk. And by the way, I was at my apartment, so I wasn't drunk driving. I just want everybody to know that.
Right.
And I wake up this morning feeling fine. The only thing that's bothering me, crazy ass heartburn from the pizza we ordered. I shouldn't be eating pizza anymore.
Yeah, you kind of cut back on that, didn't you?
Yeah, you know why? Screaming hellacious heartburn.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show, everyone. I don't know if the Skype is up. It's on 954-99-000-36, 954-990-0036. Roger Cuco Ortiz. And then at 2 o'clock or 2-ish, very excited because we were talking about her last week. I really thought that her performance was last week, and I was wrong. It's this week. The beautiful Daphne Rose will be here. A frequent. I don't know if she's been on the show 5 times. I'll have to count, but I think that warrants a pin or a plaque or something.
We'll figure something out.
Her first time to the new studios. She will be visiting us with her son Charlie, good guy, and who's going to be performing with her. Charlie is an incredible bass player. I mean, he plays pretty much anything, but he plays the bass very, very well. And she's going to be performing at the Luna Star Cafe tomorrow, I think at 8 o'clock. I don't know. We'll get those details when she gets here. But she'll be right here, saved a seat for, and she'll be playing some live stuff. I told her to bring her guitar. I was going to have Charlie carry all this equipment upstairs. Hey, Daphne, we have an elevator, by the way.
Right.
I didn't tell her that. I was giving her directions on the stairs, not thinking that she's going to be bringing an entire band up here. But I also think she thought she was coming to the old studio, which is now my apartment, and there was a little bit more depth in that place. Like here, we're up against the wall. Behind us there, the backdrop was more living room on into the kitchen. I mean, really, if you wanted to just have a huge band on there, you could just have people all the way up into the kitchen there at that just a long, skinny room. And this is just a
room,
a Cuban room.
Cuban room.
Over here.
Good one.
I lined the guest up. I thought I did a good job. I told Roger and the boys to show up at 1 o'clock and Daphne to show up at 2 so that we could do justice to everything, including what's going on right now, with the Congress and the government shutdown. And thank you, Phil Hendry. I sent him another email this morning. First of all, congratulating him on the wonderful work that he's doing on Facebook. I want to quote him. Let me fire up my Facebook over here so I can quote Phil Hendry. That would be too much to ask him to quote himself over here. But, oh, man, please go public. Why does this stuff not go public? Look at this. Why? Why does it default? Why does it default to not public? There's Daphne.
Nice.
Yeah, she's nice. She's a really, really sweet, wonderful person and a nice lady and a great mom. Oh, you heard all that last week.
Yeah.
And Randy's still in Chattanooga. We're on our way back from Chattanooga. We hope that we will have Randy back with us
Make it back safe.
next week. And we love you, Randy.
Love you.
All these wonderful things. Let me find the Phil Hendry posts because I shared one of them, and they're spot on. Here we go again with this. Why? Why does it automatically go only me? It's because I posted it from Hootsuite. It's locking Hootsuite out. Why is it doing that? I got to go and change some settings somewhere. Remind me that.
I will.
During the break to change the stupid-ass settings on this thing. So far, we haven't froze up. We're keeping an eye on everything. Just don't touch that browser. Don't touch that browser.
I'm not.
Why is it on? Why is it up there?
I didn't touch it.
Okay. All right.
There.
Man, it freaks me out when I see that thing on there. Let me quote Phil Hendry.
Real eventful time in Washington, hasn't it? In the last,
these
72
people.
hours?
And the only... All right.
And the schizo situation?
Let me quote Phil, and then I'll start my own tirade over here. Phil Hendry writes, and I forwarded it. I posted his status on my Facebook over here. Had to write this only because of the letter... I'm bad at reading. Had to write this only because of the level of utter, raw, and willful misinformation has surpassed even Facebook's usual capacity. The Tea Party shut down the government. That included money to keep things like the WW2 Memorial open. The executive branch by law has to enforce that. It wasn't Obama that shuttered the memorial. It was that cackling, grinning, giddy band of conservative Republican imbeciles. And now they take the opportunity to lie about how the government works so their Facebook faithful are up to speed. Or maybe they really all are that stupid. I'll never make the mistake of voting for another Republican candidate again, says Phil Hendry. And then he posted a quote from someone else, a Shelley Haggerty, saying, a running theme is that people keep accusing both sides. Today's transgressions have nothing to do with Democrats. It's not a refusal to compromise when protecting the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, which is what it's called. That's akin to putting a gun to my head and demanding my purse and then saying I won't compromise when I refuse to give in to your demands, says Shelley Haggerty, and I don't know who that is. I want to go friend her. One of Phil's fans or something like that. Mm-hmm. The media, which is owned by those bad people, the very same bad people that are responsible for this happening. You know, working stiffs don't own CNN. Working stiffs don't own media outlets. Actually, except for us.
Yeah.
Working stiffs own one media outlet, and that's your SoFloRadio.com, SoFloTelevision.com
Yours truly.
Media outlet. Big, powerful suits own CNN, and their interests are right of center, to say the very least. They don't want any social programs because they can afford everything. They don't have to have roads. They can have a hospital in any one of their mansions, and they don't need roads. They can take their helicopter wherever they want.
Or
they
their
can take
Learjet.
their helicopter to the Learjet to the yacht of their choice, and they don't even have to have law enforcement. They can hire their own private army. So that's what they don't want to pay tax dollars because they can just take care of themselves. And the rest of us, nuts to you. Screw you people, especially you little children that need chemotherapy or whatever that you're not, you're cut off to.
You'll
Screw
be all
you.
right.
Die. Just die.
Yeah.
So this is a ridiculous thing that's going on right now, and what's more, all right, it's ridiculous on the face of it, and everybody with an IQ of over 5 can see this exactly for what it is, which is a minority. Which, by the way, and I'm not one quick to make these comparisons. I'll call someone a Nazi as a joke or something, and I'll say that, my wife was worse than Hitler because Hitler was nice to his girlfriend, his romantic interest. It's true.
Which one?
Ava Braun.
Oh, I thought
Ava
you meant
Braun.
what about his right sidekick, the guy?
What about him? He was nice to his friends.
Was
My wife has a couple friends that she's nice to. She's not nice to her
I thought he was more than
significant other. So anyway, but that's exactly how they leveraged power from the minority that they were into a disproportionate amount of power. Hitler and his brown shirts. They shut down the government. They kept walking out of session. They blackmailed the other members of the German government into giving into their demands one at a time, little by little, until they got what they wanted. And they did that even though they were a minority and they didn't have enough votes to put their agenda through. They did it by storming out and gridlocking the government, and nothing could get done unless the rest of the German government gave in to their demands. And it was just one at a time, little by little. But that's exactly what they did. Every time that the government didn't cede one of their little token things, they would just all get up and leave, and then nobody could cast any votes. Nothing could get done. The government was shut down. If you watch, they made movies. about the origins of the Nazi Party and how they rose to power. Remember, Hitler won in free elections. How they rose to power and everything that happened leading up to that. How did that happen? Because a lot of people, that are students of history, they want to know, how did that happen? How did this come about? Because most of the people that, and especially, they don't teach shit in school anymore. Sorry. Foul language. They just tell you, the Nazis, bad people. Bad, we fought, won, Holocaust, bad, but they don't tell you how it got to be that way.
Right.
God forbid that they should tell you how it got to be that way, because then you might see some of the same similarities going on in our lives and, maybe avert them, but no. So they don't teach that in history class, how it happened. But they've made documentaries, they've made movies about it. And this is what you do. This is a minority. This is a minority holding everyone hostage over something that they had already gotten their way about. You understand that when the Affordable Care Act, and stop calling it Obamacare. This is how you know that CNN is a tool of the right wing.
Right.
They keep calling it Obamacare, first of all. They're running with that nickname. They keep calling it Obamacare. It's the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
It's a nickname. You're a news organization. God damn it. You're news people. You're supposed to be reporting facts, not using little quips. I know. What world do you live in, George? I live in this one, and I'm bitching about it, all right? So back off. I know exactly what world I'm living in. And it's wrong.
I think
it's wrong just for the news. Oh, but they're going. It's a ratings game. I know. It's show business, but the news should be the news. The news should be facts, and I'll watch it more if it is. I don't want to watch sensational stuff and fluff and stuff and nonsense. That's Comedy Central, The Daily Show.
But that's what the people want.
I know, and there's news sounders and pretty graphics.
Yeah.
And all that other horse shit.
But also,
it's called the Affordable Care Act. What?
No, I was going to say, it's only going to incite the people that don't like Obama and anything that's associated with him. I'm not pro anything in regards to that, but if I know I don't like somebody and you call it the such and such thing, it's just going to incite that emotion that, CNN or whatever media outlet.
The Republicans, very much like the Nazis, are very good at
propaganda,
pomp, circumstance, propaganda, pageantry, outfits. It's all image. It's all about the packaging.
Right.
And they pass laws based on like the Clean Air Act.
What?
Yeah, the Clean Air Act was to lift restrictions on corporations so that they could pollute more. That's how we pass acts. They're lying sacks of scum.
The Koch brothers.
They're lying sacks of scum. The Koch brothers, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're lying sacks of scum. They're evil. They're evil. They're evil. And you people out there, there's two kinds of people that vote Republican. Evil people and stupid people. And the evil people are that 1%, the people that actually do benefit from those policies, that tiny minority that already has multiple yachts and multiple houses. They benefit from those policies. The rest of you, you're just a bunch of dumb shits. I'm sorry. You're a bunch of fucking morons. And I posted some things from Bill O'Reilly on there. You're a bunch of morons. It's as simple as that. The Affordable Care Act was watered down by the Republicans, and all of the provisions that they now are complaining about are the provisions that the Democrats, pussies that they are, caved in about. Like, oh no, because it was going to be single payer. When it all started out, it was going to be the same kind of civilized healthcare reform and healthcare system that they have in every other civilized country in the world. Every other one has free, affordable healthcare. Israel, speaking of Manishtana Halal Hazeh, has cradle-to-grave coverage, and guess who pays for it? We do. Oh. Americans. We do.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. It's one of the reasons that I want to convert, too. I want to go to Israel so I can get some medical benefits. We send $3 billion a year to Israel, which is fine, but whatever. Actually, not fine, because I want it, because I need it. It's my tax dollars. I need it over here. I mean, just when you start sending, if you start sending money to Bill, Bob will get jealous. So now you got to send some money to Bob, and now Bruce is jealous. By the way, Bruce Silverman is going to be calling in. Strikers game is going to be coming on Saturday. That snuck up on me, and I can't be there, and there's no way that I could be there because I'm going to go watch Taft play tomorrow. I already had a prior commitment, and I have to take my family members, including adopted family members, to that show. I'm driving the kiddie bus. We're all going to descend upon the Luna Star Cafe, and I'm thinking of bringing a beach ball and a Frisbee. So the Affordable Care Act, a Republican watered-down shadow of what it used to be, the mandatory insurance provision, that was their idea because they wanted to make sure that the insurance companies that own them get greased. So they watered it down to the point where, okay, that's acceptable to us. And guess what? It passed. And then it wasn't supposed to pass. Well, guess what? We passed your watered-down version of the Affordable Care Act, and then, though it was not supposed to pass, so they took it to the Supreme Court. And guess what happened at the Supreme Court?
What happened?
They approved it. It passed. It's constitutional. They said it's not constitutional because of the provision that we insisted on. It's not constitutional. Like they really thought that was going to be a play.
Right.
We're going to put something in there that the Supreme Court is going to find unconstitutional, and we're going to scuttle this thing that way. Well, that didn't work. The Supreme Court found it constitutional, so then it became the law of the land. Congress voted on it. The Senate voted on it. The president signed it. Boom. Law of the land, like every other law of the land, like all the drug laws of the land, like mandatory sentencing, like all these other things, and never a big issue. It really cracks me up, and this is another thing that makes you people so incredibly moronically stupid. It really cracks me up that the thing that we're going to shut the government down about is getting people health care.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to shut down the government because the government is going to spend money to go to war and bomb some children on the other side of the world that had never even heard of us. We're not going to shut the government down for that. Right?
I can only imagine what people abroad are saying when they see things like this, like, oh, they're shutting down the government because of healthcare.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We're idiots. We look like idiots to the rest of the world. And and speaking of idiots, Benjamin Netanyahu was on the news this morning. They showed a clip from one of his interviews. He's over here to tell Obama that all of that nicey stuff that you're playing with Iran, ain't gonna fly, buddy. That guy that was saying nice things, that acknowledging the Holocaust and acknowledging Israel's right to exist and everything, not good enough. He's got a beard. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't be nice to him. Oh, but by the way, this budget thing can't happen in Israel. Israel's budgetary system guarantees that a budget will pass automatically if the assholes in their parliament or government, whatever they have, if they can't agree on a budget, just the previous budget rolls over. There's no such thing as operating and shutting the government down because you don't approve of a budget. He said that's a lot of silly horse shit.
Yeah.
You people are silly over there in America. Silly geese. And then he went back to shouting about Iran.
Sheeple.
I would really just like to not be involved in that region. If the people over there want to slap fight each other like they have been for thousands of years,
let them.
Let them. I got problems of my own. I got financial. I wouldn't call them problems. I mean, everybody. I guess even those rich people, even those 1%ers, they think they have financial problems. I guess it's all relative.
Now,
Doing fine.
I've been informed. I saw something that informed me rather, in regards to those people, those 1%ers, because if there should be a financial catastrophe of some kind, they're forewarned at least 6 months, maybe a year. What happened with that whole Bill Gates thing when he was going to court for monopoly? I mean,
yeah,
he was
antitrust laws.
Yeah, he wasn't summoned. I mean, he was summoned, but he could take his sweet time. It drug out for a good little while. So
sure, well, he could swing it.
Yeah,
he could afford it.
Yeah, so situations like that with those 1%ers, I think it's the same type of situation where there's already a loophole that they found or they funded through, bilking these politicians to take care of situations like this. I know, although this is different, this is healthcare, but those 1%ers, they're well informed, and they're.
Oh well, yeah, well they're not stupid. They didn't get all that wealth by being stupid.
By
people.
accident.
Yeah, they didn't get it by sharing, and they didn't get it by paying taxes. Which is the whole point when I argue with people like members of my own family who continue to be Republicans. You're stupid. You're a moron.
No, that's where all the money's at.
Yeah. They quote Rush and they quote Bill O'Reilly. I got some Bill O'Reilly quotes on my Facebook over here.
Great.
I know, but they're always talking about the regulations and the regulations. These are the people that deserve to be regulated. And by the way, it's like they're apologists for them. It's like, well, they earned that money. They deserve it. Why should, all right, we're all good at different things. At least if you're lucky, you're good at something. We're going to have people in the studio soon that are good at music, for example.
Right.
And some people are good at building furniture, and some people are good at cooking. Some people are good at science, so they're working on cures for diseases and discoveries and broadening our knowledge base. Some people are good at grabbing. The grabbing hands. Grab all they can. Should I play that? Some people are good. Oh, it's everything counts. I was typing in grabbing hands. Here we go. Oh, that sounds really good in my headphones. It goes left and right and left and right. Woo! So why do we reward people whose ability, whose skill is grabbing, acquiring, hoarding, taking? You've heard this saying, people say, well, if the wealth was evenly distributed, in 10 years, the people that are the 1%ers now would have it all back again because they're very good at that. Okay, let's acknowledge that. Okay, thank you. Yes, I acknowledge that. Well, that doesn't make it a good thing, and that doesn't mean that we should just surrender to them and allow them to have everything. Why should this group of people that is very good at grabbing and acquiring, why should they have all that stuff? And why should they be able to convert that stuff into power, the power to acquire more stuff? Because that is the cycle. You use wealth to buy power. You use power to buy wealth. You use wealth to buy power and to increase your wealth. So they buy themselves and their friends into positions of power, and then once in those positions of power, they change the system to benefit them more. These Republicans right now, John Boehner and all these other wingnuts out there, are the employees of the 1%. They owe their lives and everything to that tiny minority that owns and controls everything. They have no choice but to do what they're doing. They have their orders. This is their job, is to serve their masters, and they're getting rewarded handsomely for their efforts. And so is Rush, and so is Bill O'Reilly, and so are all these other hacks like Glenn Beck.
What are you, a Marxist?
What, am I a Marxist? No, I am not a Marxist.
Oh, you're a socialist.
I believe in free. No, I am not a socialist. Although I have socialist friends, and that's all very good on paper. I'm an Adam Smith free enterprise advocate. I am an advocate of the free market system and the American effing way. In order to achieve a free market system and a level playing field for businesses to operate in, there has to be progressive taxation and progressive regulation, because the playing field doesn't begin level. First of all, you don't have a chance. It's not every man for himself in business and may the best businessman win. Great, wonderful. But the playing field doesn't begin level. The person who begins with the most amount of money begins with a head start. Because, for example, like the Walmart principle, the more of an item that you're able to buy at one time, the less per unit you have to buy for that item.
Right.
Let's say, for example, you want to peddle pills to junkies. If you want to buy the Roxys, if you're lucky, you can get them for $25 and usually $30. But if you can buy them in bulk, then maybe you can get them down to 20 or even 15 a piece and then double your money. So if you and your friend are going to go into the drug dealing business together and you have more money than your friend, you're going to be able to buy that product cheaper, and you're going to be able to sell to have an increased profit margin, which means at the end of whatever billing cycle, let's say that it's a month, let's say that the pill pushing is turns over in a month. You have to go buy more pills every month.
How to Become a Drug Dealer by George Rodriguez.
Yeah, well, that's a good yeah, well, just download it. Yeah. Just go find it on Pirate Bay. Please steal that video.
Very educational.
But at the end of the month, the person A who started with more money will have even more money, and then we'll be able to take that even larger amount of money and get a better deal this next cycle. He'll be able to buy more pills at a less per unit cost even than he started before. And on it goes, like a big hyperbolic curve, and on it goes. And person B, who didn't start with that money, really has no chance, all other things being equal. He has to hustle twice as much to catch up to that person because of the head start, the financial head start that person had. So it isn't a level playing field. And if you don't have a force to counteract that inequity, the person that begins with most of the money will always win, will always control, and will always be in a position of power. And I've spoken at length on previous shows about how we have to separate money from power. Money, and we already have laws. See, I'm not advocating something new. We already have laws to determine what you can purchase with your money and some things you cannot purchase with money. I don't necessarily agree with some of the laws that are on the books, but I do believe that money should not entitle you to everything under the sun. Goods and services, that's what your money ought to entitle you to. Property, goods, and services. It shouldn't entitle you to increase political power. That's graft. That's the purchase of influence. You should not be allowed to use your money to purchase political influence and political favors. That should be really, really illegal.
That's a very logical approach, but like a lot of things in life, it's not possible because you have a situation where
it is possible.
It is possible, but if you're telling me that, oh, this is what you can do with your jillions of dollars.
Well, there are people that don't believe that there should be no restriction on what you can spend your money on, and that includes power. You know who believes that? The people with a shit ton of money.
Right, exactly. So, with that being said, it's a situation where you're kind of put in a position of not really winning because they still have the money, and for no reason. I believe as successful as they are, they're incredibly insecure. So,
oh yeah, well, because the guy that has the most expensive apartment in New York City,
right,
he's very insecure because the guy with the second most expensive apartment really hates that guy. And guy number one,
right.
I like to use Bob and Bill. I knew these brothers.
Yeah.
Bill and Bob. Bill was the older one. He was a frenemy.
Okay.
And then Bob was his younger brother, but they were like a year apart.
Montana?
Very similar looking. Yeah, Montana. Bill and Bob. They were peas in a pod. Bill and Bob. Fuller. But I use that analogy. Yeah, if Bill has the most expensive apartment in New York, Bob has the second most expensive apartment in New York, Bob really hates Bill, and Bob is doing everything. He wakes up in the morning trying to figure out how he can take Bill out of the equation so that he can get that apartment, or that he make more money than Bill so that he can afford to rent it out from under him, or I'm gonna go.
I'm seeing a bit of a correlation here.
Bill knows that, by the way. Bill knows that Bob is on his ass.
Yeah, of
so
course.
He's very insecure.
Of course he does. Of course he does. We had a conversation before when we were talking about the Trayvon Martin thing, as far as a dislike by a certain group of people and why they would dislike another group of people that don't quite look like them.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a similar mentality when you're talking about Bill and Bob, because you're always going to try to upend that other person.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to stay on top of it because they're on your ass. Even if they're not on your ass per se, exactly how you might think they are, but you're like, they're coming. So that's
well,
go ahead.
I'm just these people, they're defined. They're very insecure, but they're defined by they don't have enough. If they had the ability, if they had a chromosome or a gene or a molecule in their brain that allowed them to feel the emotion of satisfaction, they wouldn't have continued hoarding and acquiring to the level that they're at. There's no such thing as enough.
Right.
And it's an episode of Breaking Bad that I think that you already saw, when Todd is pitching to his uncle.
Right.
His uncle is saying, the uncle's going to go shoot Jesse.
Right.
We got all this money.
Right.
And Todd says, even though we have all this money, don't you want more? If you got a chance to make more, don't you want more?
That's
and
actually.
What does Uncle Jack say?
Uncle Jack says,
"You got a good point there, son.
Yeah.
I want more."
No, I think that's actually the American way. There's a lot of American ways, but that's
just
more
America.
or less.
It's human. It's a human way. We're guppies. We are not. And nature. I'm gonna fault nature. It's your fault, nature.
Yeah.
Nature doesn't program animals with a level of satisfaction. It allows the environment to check those things. It programs you with a desire, not a limit. And that's why guppies eat until they explode. We're all guppies. And we have a desire for more. And I think that just, as evolved creatures, we need to start applying certain elements to our personality that are new to the world. Like, this is enough. I'm good here. I got enough. If you took a lion or an African hunting dog, I bring them up because they weird me out. And hyenas weird me out even more. But if you took a hyena and, made it humanoid, walking upright, and now you can speak, it would want more.
It's
going to want more. Yeah, it's going to want more. It's not going to go, all right, I'm full, I don't want any more food. It's going to want more. Nature programs you with desire, and then the environment, so that you'll compete against each other, and evolution will take place. It's like,
May the best one wins.
Like the way we are with women. Right?
Yeah.
When's enough? Somebody told me once, like, it was some old guy when I was younger, and now I'm the old guy. The word that he was using, if you fucked one, you fucked them all. And I'm trying to get away from the language like that. We're going to clean up SOFLA.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll let you know. Because that was like the most wrong statement I ever heard in my life. But we're programmed with desire. Just some of us are evolved to know that we can't all have everything. See, if you can't all have everything. This guy wants everything, and this guy wants everything. And if you're both trying to acquire everything, and
or the
guess
same
what?
things,
There's going to be a conflict. And these
Right.
people that are the game that they're playing is with us as the chess pieces. We're the tools. We're the pawns. We're the chaff.
We're
We're
the
the
numbers.
mooks. Yeah. They're starting wars because there's money in it. What a notion. I mean, in the olden days, like let's take the Romans, people like the Romans, there was profit in war. You would take your army, cross a border, raid your a neighbor, and take stuff. In some cases, you took land and expanded your kingdom, so now you increase your tax base and production base. Now all those peasants are part of your kingdom. All of the food and everything that they produce is part of your take, your haul. So you've just increased the income of your nation by moving the border through warfare.
Hey, it's a tried and true formula.
Sure. We don't even bother moving the borders anymore. It's just the conflict creates the profit for these companies that make ammunition and bombs and things that kill people. And it's been a long time. See, when we were all barbaric on this planet, we were fighting each other all the time. Yeah. Let's look at the sarcasm over there. We have the United Nations, and we have a system now for working things out. It is illegal to move borders anymore. But still, the warmongers is like, we're not going to worry about the borders anymore. We're just going to create conflict. We're just going to inflame conflict and fuel the flames of hate, so that people will continue to fight each other. And as long as there's a conflict going on somewhere in the world, or if we have our way, several places in the world, then we're continuing to make money. Everything is subject to the laws of evolution, including businesses and corporations. For example, here we are. This is a business. It's been going on for 4+ years. I've made some mistakes. I've done some things that turned out to be a waste of time and energy. And I've done some other things that turned out to be not a waste of time and energy because it produced money. It produced income for the company, and we were all able to share. Now, you apply evolution to that principle, Jack Frost.
Yes.
I'm not going to repeat the practices that didn't return money. I'm going to repeat the practices that did return money. Over time, the system will be refined to increase the amount of income that we make. We continue learning lessons. We continue learning how to make money. Everyone does this. Hot dog stand operator learns these lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Went out one day. It's like, you know what? I bought these baked potato chips and they didn't sell. So I'm hauling around these baked potato chips. Now got to sell them at a discount. Not going to carry the baked potato chips anymore. Nobody cares about baked potato chips. I'm going to carry instead the sour cream and onion. Okay.
Right.
So companies, businesses, they evolve practices that will increase their profit. So war machine companies that sell weapons are subject to that same principle. They go, well, we're going to favor political organizations and politicians that do things like vote for things that generate conflict, because as long as there's a conflict, we make money.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to support parties and individuals that are
Lobby.
warmongering, and we're going to lobby,
Yeah,
and we're going to do things like spread hate, and we're going to do things like point out the differences between people, because that's what people fight about. They don't fight about their commonalities. They fight about differences, and we're going to blow up those differences, and we're going to make it seem like those differences actually matter, like the way that other people pronounce the name of God. That's a big issue to a lot of people, and we have to kill those people because they pronounce the name of God in their language as opposed to our language. Now, which, by the way, you want to talk about cheek. We're going to hate somebody because they pray to God, but they pray to God in their language and not in our language. And so we got to kill them because of that. You understand?
That's the thing. That's the thing that kind of irks me a little bit, that we don't have a body of some kind of police this. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the UN.
The UN, yeah, which has no teeth, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the UN, these same right-wing nuts, they hate the UN.
You nuts.
I personally, use the UN or don't. We spend a lot of money on the UN. I think that the UN ought to be something or not. If
Yeah.
it's going to be something, give it some power, give it some teeth. Everybody that's a part of that process, come up with a system where if the UN votes, because this is the United Nations, we're like a global democracy. That would be a really nice thing to take place. But if we're not going to do what we agree to do when we're all sitting together at the United Nations, then what's the freaking point? It's costing us money.
I think it aesthetically looks very, very good.
It's pretty. The aliens,
You have
when
the-
they land,
yeah.
we can take them on a tour of the UN. You see?
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of flags. They got translators for phones.
Oh, I know. They got the headphones.
Headphones. Awesome.
Translator thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
They
changing
made
the world.
A movie about that.
Yeah.
I know. So I'm really pissed off. To reiterate, this government shutdown, the teabaggers. I was told that it's bigoted to refer to members of the Tea Party as teabaggers. Can you
Why?
believe that?
How so?
I didn't bother waiting around for an explanation. Instead, I said to the person, "You're a moron, and I don't want to talk to you anymore."
Well, George, I don't try to portray myself as more intelligent than I really am. So I would like a little bit of insight on what is the tactic exactly that the teabaggers are using, because it's like not counter racism or counter bigotism. Like, oh, you guys are picking on us because you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a very common thing. Like, for example, the fundamentalist Christians like to act like they're being persecuted.
right.
I had God bless her, a friend of a friend on Facebook a few months ago posted something implying that it was something about Tim Tebow. That
Oh,
people
boy,
were
that's another one.
beating up on Tim Tebow for praying in public. And how wrong that is, and how she wishes that people would stop picking up. Why is this unacceptable? Why do so many people have a problem with what Tim Tebow is doing, but all these other things are acceptable? Like to try to like. First of all, she was comparing apples and oranges, and so I got into an argument. But that's what they like to pretend to do. They like to pretend, the fundamentalist Christians like to pretend, and everybody that's on the wrong side of an issue, they like to pretend that they are the victims. Oh, people are picking on us. No, you're the ones picking on other people.
Right.
If you followed the Bible, if you followed the teachings of Jesus, no one would have a bad thing to say about you. You're not. By the way, Jesus said don't pray in public. That's why people were giving Tim Tebow a hard time.
Yes,
for
exactly.
showboating.
Exactly.
The Bible says don't pray in public. Jesus said don't pray in public, that when you pray in public, you're showboating.
Exactly.
And that's what people were criticizing Tim Tebow about, for using his religion as a publicity stunt, as a publicity tool.
Whether he genuinely feels that way or not.
The way that Miley Cyrus was using her ass.
Exactly. I mean, it's not something that you just put up there and, that's the thing that probably irked the people more that were more against the whole Tim Tebow movement, because it was like, dude, I don't want to watch this. I mean, it's like someone that, like a Miley Cyrus guy.
Well, and then
type
the
of
way that he
person.
did it, and,
Yeah, it's like, come on.
that's how you pray?
Yeah.
When you're in your house, Tim, is that how you pray?
There's a tunnel in the stadium. You could have did that there. You didn't have
No,
to.
he's thanking God for that touchdown because and let me explain
Touchdown, Jesus.
let me explain to my Facebook friend of a friend another reason that is unacceptable. When you thank God for helping you score a touchdown, you are saying, God helped me score a touchdown. So you're saying that God's a fan of yours,
and, not
and God
the
is
other
helping
team.
you win,
Right.
and not the other team, because they must suck Satan's dick.
Yeah.
God likes me more than you. God helped me score that touchdown. I'm giving God the credit here publicly in front of everyone because I want everyone to know
I'm
that
better
God
than you.
likes me more than he likes them. Me.
But that's not what I'm
God
saying.
likes me because I didn't score that touchdown because I'm good at football and I practice a lot. I didn't score that touchdown because of my hard work. I scored that touchdown because God put his hand upon my back and pushed me. God took that ball and steered it into my hands because he wants my team to win, because he likes me and my team better than those other people. So thank you, God, for liking me better, buddy.
I'm all for faith. I'm all for
I'm not.
Whatever gets you through, whatever gets you through, and whatever gets you by. But again,
I'm not.
The throw it in someone's face and,
And that's exactly what he's doing. He's because here's the thing about thanking God and bringing God in on it. If we have a disagreement, you and I, we can agree to disagree because we're humans and we acknowledge that humans are flawed and can be wrong.
right.
Everyone agrees with that. Even the biggest asshole in the world will agree that he's not perfect and is capable of error.
Right.
But God is not capable of error, and you can't argue with God. So when you attribute a judgment or an opinion to God, there is no arguing with that. You see,
Right.
when you say God wants me to do this, you can't argue with that. You see, hey, it's not me, it's God. All right. I know you think that I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong because God told me this. All right.
You're not saying it with enough conviction, George. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's what does it for me is the expression. Like, again, I don't know, because a lot of times faith can get people through the darkest times in their life. And, I'm not one to judge that. But you have instances like I used to be a big DMX fan.
Okay.
Right? DMX, if you're not aware of DMX's style of music,
That's in your face.
yeah, it's in your face. We're talking about pillaging and shooting and the whole nine. I'd say about a good 14 songs consists of that type of music. But towards the end, DMX has a prayer.
Yeah.
DMX says a prayer, and I guess, that's kind of the going joke that you'll see like at a award show or something like that. My whole album was about sex. It was about pillage and the whole thing. I want to thank God. I want to thank. That I always found that to be very funny. But
They've done like the Crusades and all these other holy wars throughout history. It's like, hey, nothing personal. God told me to do this. Like in the Bible. When Joshua was slaying all the Canaanites, nothing personal. God told me to do this. I have no choice. God told me to do this. Oh well, now we're feeling better. We're feeling better. You're killing everybody, right? Including the children. You're carving the pregnant women up, and you're making sure that the pregnant women, you're killing that fetus in there. It's like,
okay.
I was having a problem with it before, but now that you're telling me that God's making you do this, this is the direct order from God. You can't. I know we can't. We don't argue with God either. So I understand that if Yahweh told you that you got to kill us all, then hey everybody, shut your whining mouths. God said that this has got to happen. So everybody just shut up and die, will you?
Okay, I lied.
All right.
The devil made me do it.
Okay. Well, it's all very convenient for people to point to God and say that this is what God wants me to do. This is God's will. One of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life is it's God's will. What isn't? What isn't God's will? If God wills it, it happens. If God doesn't want it to happen, it won't happen because God controls everything. You understand? If God wanted the sun to rise in the west tomorrow, the sun would rise in the west, and it would be God's will. But God's will rose in the east. Did you see that picture I took?
Yeah, that was nice.
Pretty, man. I was
nice.
surprised. Having some weird sleep habits lately, so I was up and opening up windows, and I'm like, hey,
I'm like,
look
what
at
the
that
bleep? I'm like,
color.
What the bleep is he doing up there?
It's
about time he took advantage of that.
It wasn't to go to the bathroom. It was, what happens is the blood sugar level from drinking, when the alcohol wears off, you just wake up.
With a banging headache.
I'm getting better at that. Little vitamin, little Alka-Seltzer, and everything.
BC powder.
Oh.
Disgusting, by the way. The BC
just
powder.
fine. I'm thinking of having some more Alka-Seltzer. Ugh, because that pizza. That pizza I ate yesterday.
Did you have pepperoni?
Yeah. Huh?
Shit stinks.
Oh, man, I'm sorry about that. I was enjoying it all night long.
What, the pepperoni?
Yeah. It was coming back at me. Burps I could chew. I have more DMX over here.
See, I believe in
I don't want to copy any
Yeah.
what is it? Copyright laws. Violate any copyright laws. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I like DMX.
Yeah.
That's all. Anyway.
This
I don't know how much I can play without it flagging us on YouTube. I don't want to get flagged
Yeah.
on YouTube anymore.
That sucks.
It does suck. So I'm going to take a break because I want to go to the bathroom. I've been talking and drinking a lot of Alka-Seltzer. So, and I think that's good, man. One break per hour. If I can do that all the time, we'll get out of here before you know it.
Yep.
We got Roger Cuco Ortiz and company and his brother, I think is his brother. We'll clear that up when they get here. Hopefully soon, DJ Fuego. Maybe they can help me think of a better fake DJ name than DJ Poser. Although I like DJ Poser. It's very appropriate. Yep. And then round two, the beautiful Daphne Rose and her not so beautiful son. He's a good guy. Charlie. I don't know. We got to come up with a fake name for Charlie. because there's already a Charlie.
Yeah, we already got Charlie.
There already a Charlie Rose.
Yeah.
And so we'll think of because and like Casey doesn't know, you got to come up with your fake name right away because once you establish it, that's it.
Yeah,
like George Rodriguez,
that's
just
it.
stuck with it. It's 5 till 1 on all George Rodriguez radio, SoFloRadio.com.
SoFloRadio.com.
If there was no demand, there would be no supply.
SoFloRadio.com. Supplying what you demand.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's radio loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now. Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
In these hard economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you have a car, truck, or SUV, you could stop paying for all covered repairs. That's right. You might not have to pay a penny more than you want for repairs. Just call 1-800-610-7840 right now to see if you qualify. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and much more can become a thing of the past if your vehicle has less than 130,000 miles. Just call 800-610-7840 today and get your car protected, saving you hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Phone lines are open right now. See if your vehicle qualifies. Just call 1-800-610-7840 to get your car protected today. Call 800-610-7840. That's 1-800-610-7840. Never pay for covered car repairs again. Just call 800-610-7840. That's 1-800-610-7840.
By the Glass.
By the Glass is a show about beverage culture.
Brad Hubbard.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the dots on how everything works together. It's really all about how we enjoy things, how we enjoy life, and how beverages play a big part in that. I'm going to bring in people that are going to display their aspect of the culture. I'm going to bring in people that are going to show you different products. We're going to look at places where people go to consume these beverages and how they all interact. Things are built around the actual beverage itself.
By the Glass. Thursdays from 6 to 7. Only on SoFloRadio.com.
See.
Well, we were going to play a song, but everybody's here and we don't have a song ready yet. I got to, more than, hey, have a song ready. How's that? From now on. Just in case, because it's all producer training over here on the George Rodriguez Show all the time. And producer rule number, 137. Have something. Have something ready at any given moment.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, Murphy's Law. Why have something ready? Because
anything can happen.
Because I went to the bathroom and I wasn't going to be able to look for a Daphne song while I'm in the bathroom because Daphne's coming up later. So we're going to do an hour with you guys, and then when beautiful girls come in the room, beautiful ladies, I should say, then I try to clear out as many of the dudes as possible because I don't want interference and everything. How's it going, guys?
Very, very good.
Scoot over here a little bit more because it's welcome to our ghetto studios. Your studios are nice. Hey, Larnell Cross, ladies and gentlemen, you can grab a seat or a slab of meat or something. Larnell's a producer in training too. No, he's like an intern or something like that, man.
All right.
DJ Fuego. Is that your real hair?
Yeah.
Is that a strap on?
No.
Do you guys want headphones or can you hear everything all right? I mean, just to keep us honest. Okay.
Hello.
Jack's gonna work our microphones and everything there. How you doing, Larnell?
Oh, good.
Good.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of people out there in Hollywood today. Just trying to find parking space.
Well, it's Friday, and people are getting down here early because this is
Friday.
Like awesome place. So the Game Bros, or is it Game Brothers?
No, it's Game Bros.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We like to get people confused with Bang Bros, so Bros, Game Bros. So it's just a trick on words.
That's a good idea. Just little things that I can write down. Because we're playing the Fame game. We're all playing the Fame game over here. Speaking of the Fame game, I want to shout out to these people next door. They have to endure us all the time cussing over here.
Sure
Lauren,
Sports.
I went over and talked to Lauren, and who I see, walking down the halls and everything. One of our new neighbors.
She's very tall.
Sure Sports. She's 6'1".
Amazon.
Wow.
Anyway,
6'1"?
And eventually, and Leon, the president of the company, when Leon's in town, we're gonna have them on the show and talk about whatever the hell it is that they do, because they're in the building and we want to.
It only makes sense.
Grease the people that are in the building here. We like them. How do you like my flash?
Cross promotion.
Awesome.
Randy gave me that. Randy's in Chattanooga. Game Bro is going to be joining the SoFlo Radio family at some point. I got to get back to your place. I want to bring boards and equipment.
I bought a new soundboard and everything.
Okay, I want to play with that stuff. I got a bag of different mic holders for you, so you don't have to set your microphones in there, and just all kinds of crazy things that I want to do in your guys' studio.
My casa's your casa.
Oh, excellent, great! I'm gonna run around barefoot then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just barefoot is the thing. How long you guys been doing your Game Bros show? It's already big. It's a big hit on YouTube.
Yeah, we've been doing it for almost. I want to say we're about to hit 4 years now. So we've been doing it for a long time, and it was something we just started out of the blue. Just we wanted to do something different. We got tired of hearing other people review and comment about video games, and we also talk about sports and electronics. So we do a little bit of everything. So. That's what Game Bros is mainly about.
So,
excellent.
So what other things do you talk about besides games?
He just said sports and electronics.
But I mean, like, besides that, sports and electronics. What other things?
Larnell's interviewing you today. Did you know?
Basically, what we like to talk about is everything a guy around our age or demographic would like.
Okay.
So we talk.
How old is that? Because I'm old.
No, but you're in our demographic. And anybody that has money, I guess, is in our demographic.
So that means you're trying to say we're broke now,
used
right?
To be. I'm broke. I used to have money, and then got married, and I married the wrong kind of person.
Life happened.
By the way, only marry for money, especially in Florida. The only reason to get married, especially in Florida, is for money.
It's the Floridian way.
If you're not marrying for money, guess what the other person is? You're gonna get hosed. Yeah. So there you go. We're working out the schedule. When do you post your shows right now? Because are you on live, or you got to do a
live
hangout?
show. We do a live broadcast.
I know the answers to these things, but this is how you do an interview. I got to get you to tell about.
No, I got it. It's all good. We do a live show on Twitch TV where we have different segments where we review games. We also preview games. We also do a sports segment where we do local sports like the Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers. We talk about all that stuff because we feel like we know more than the broadcasters and the actual athletes do.
It's true.
So I just love it how these guys get paid millions of dollars and the broadcaster just let them, he dropped 10 passes. Imagine if you were working and you messed up 10 times and you would get a raise, like $1 million raise. That would be awesome, right?
That would.
So we kind of hold we're more strict with our players. We would like for them to, if you get paid $10 million, I think you should be able to catch a football.
I agree. I'd like to get paid $10 million just to try to catch a football, but I know how it all works out. It's great. We're getting taken over by the jockocracy here on this radio station, but that's okay. That's okay because it's cool people and it's not what is it? They're not one-dimensional shows. For example, Bruce Silverman is interviewing, I don't know if you guys remember because we're all old, the old original MTV VJ crew. Mark Goodman, one of the original
that's
VJs.
That's when MTV used to play music videos?
Yeah, I know when it used to stand
back in
for
the
music.
80s,
back in the 80s, that's right, Larnell. 1981, I think, is when they started.
Yeah, 1981, yes.
Because I was a senior in high school, and I was the one that called the cable company. My mom, Gubanasa that she is, she didn't know from cable or MTV or anything. So I just called and made the arrangements and had cable installed specifically so I could watch MTV. So I remember Mark Goodman. I think he's going to play the interview on his next show on Monday. And then don't forget, speaking of that and the sports things that we have going on, so I thought Bruce was going to call in. You got the eye on that Skype thing?
Yep.
We'll get him to call in at some point. The Strikers game tomorrow. Do you know versus who? We got the schedule right here.
The Tampa Rowdies.
Okay,
Tampa
there you
Bay
go.
Rowdies.
Thank you for man, this tiny print. I'm gonna have to dig my glasses out. And the broadcast starts at 7:30 right here on SoFloRadio.com.
Yes, sir.
As usual. And I can't go because I'm going to be taking everyone I know to watch Daphne play. You'll see Daphne right over here.
We could represent SoFlo Radio at the soccer event if you want.
Yeah?
We love soccer. We go watch the Strikers play. and all that
go.
cool stuff.
We'll make arrangements and get you in talking on the booth with Bruce. Do a little cross promotion over there.
I was more of the box. I don't know if you remember that, the competition for MTV. It was the box.
Yeah, the box, the one where you
music,
call in
television, you control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you know that actually back in the early '90s, before it was the box, it was called the jukebox, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I remember that's what they used to. They used to do the same exact thing to where you would pay and then call in some videos back in the days before the internet was big, Because now on cable they have this network called Swerve. You heard of Swerve?
No, that's new to me.
Yeah, that's kind of like the box, but you go online.
You get porn on there.
Well, the box was basically porn. It was nothing but Luke videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Whatever
that.
happened to the underwater Luke videos? I used to love that. The underwater camera, getting the crotch shots and all that.
Very
stuff.
innovative.
Don't they have websites for that? Don't they have websites? It's just
I
like
would
aquarium.com or something?
Aquarium crotch?
I don't know.
Crotch
I haven't
shots?
seen it.
Hey, this is a family show. Although you can't tell.
Well,
Not from
families are made in the crotch.
Do you guys cuss a lot on your show? Because we've had
No,
some
we do
controversy
not.
lately. So we're actually separating the programming, and I'm going to split the George Rodriguez show into two entities. I'm gonna clean up the George Rodriguez show, but then I'm gonna do the Ivan Bad show or something like that, the Mike Hawk show or something, and that's gonna be on furadio.com because because see, here's the thing, I love freedom of speech, and I love being able to speak candidly about how I feel, and sometimes that just warrants an F word or an S word, but that also scares certain sponsors away that only want to advertise on a family-friendly environment. So SoFlo Radio is going to become PG very soon. It's just a matter of how we can do it, and I got to have conversations with people, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I love the F word. I love it. I effing love it.
So it shows. So you know what shows? It shows that little kids can listen to George's show unless George happens to freak you. But that's another thing. Right?
Little kids can still. By the way, little kids use all those words. It isn't little kids that are the problem. It's the atmosphere that it's the people. There's a hypocrisy, and especially when children are involved, we live in a hypocritical society that kind of forces you to be a hypocrite. The same people that use this language in every sentence, that use the F word and the S word in every sentence, would freak out if they heard that same language from their child. And they don't believe these words are bad. They want to say them, but they don't think that the child should say them. It's very hypocritical. It's the same thing with the cigarettes and the drinking and weed and everything else. It's like it's okay, but not for the children, So you have to be a hypocrite. And so here we're going to become all hypocrite radio.
So the same it's the same suit wearers that get home and then beat their wives and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Like no cursing on the radio, and then they get home and they start plumbing their
I
wife
don't. I could never beat my wife. Do you know any of these people that do though? Beat wives? Because I could. Yeah. That would be really awesome.
When you get a chance, look up a comedian called Bill Blur.
Oh yeah.
He has this one little skit where he talks about wife beating. It's pretty funny.
I will look it up. That's I just have. Because I know I'm actually a very meek and mild person, but boy, if anybody deserved a beating. So lately, Game Bros, let's go through the paces because what's hot right now. What I just posted on a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, Daphne, the lady that's coming in, her son is a big video game buff, and he was posting some Grand Theft Auto 5 stuff on there. So I posted a video,
which is the rave right now.
It is the rave right now.
It's actually up in sales.
Sure.
Yeah. It made $1 billion in 3 days.
Yeah. And if you
billion?
guys played it?
Billion.
Wow.
You guys played it?
Yeah.
Reviewed it already?
Yes.
All right. Well, what? So tell us about it.
Well, Grand Theft Auto is an open world game. For the people that don't know what open world game means, it's a game that you actually, they give you a map and you get to do whatever you want, go wherever you want to go, and just go crazy.
It's a really good virtual environment, and that's what a lot of people. I mean, I used to play the PC games, so then I told you I don't play the thumb games. My thumbs are that's as fast as I can move them. Right there, you're just looking. So I don't play the thumb games, but I've already gone through the PC thing. I told you about that, but that was my favorite thing that when I got into a game, it was if it was a really good open world, a really good virtual environment where you could interact a lot, and I think Is it the best? I mean, is it the most open world, the most interactive of all the games that
better
you're
than
aware
Call
of?
of Duty and all that stuff?
Oh man, you just offended the Game Bros crew, man.
Oh,
Call of
you
Duty
sound
is
like-
like a curse word for us.
It's
Really?
a curse word?
Yeah, man.
Oh my
We're Battlefield fans. So going back to the GTA,
Yes, go back to
it's one of the best open world games because it's the kind of game that lets you do a lot of evil and crazy things, but you don't really have to. It's the
Okay.
kind of game that it's even gonna get crazier now. It started on October 1st because they made it basically like an MMO where all of us could get together, make our own crew, rob banks, and do different heists, or we could even just go together and play golf together. So that's the kind of game that GTA is. We can actually just, if we want to rob a bank, we can. If we want to play, 2-on-2 tennis, we could do that. If we want to rob a plane and go skydiving, you could do that.
right.
And now that they made it a MMO where it's open world with all your friends, that's what makes it even crazier now.
And do they have a display on the game where you can take over the government right now? Like, do they have that?
No, because the government's on vacation apparently, so you can't take them over.
They're
Right
probably
now?
they're probably off golfing. They're probably golfing
Is that a
right now. That's
joke?
what they,
That was a bad.
Write it
one.
down.
Yeah.
Write that down.
yeah.
1 point for the Game Bros.
That's good, man. Wow. I'm telling you, you guys, there's humor on this show. I didn't even know. You guys need to list that off over there.
No,
So-
it's a game. If anybody has a system, it's a game that you should just get it. And like my brother said, it sold 1 billion in 3 days. No form of media sold so much so fast.
And
I had a
alright.
double take
I got,
for a second
I
when
got
you
my
said
own
that.
ideas
1 billion.
why. I got my own ideas why.
With the B.
But
Yeah.
why do you think that this particular version of the game sold out? Is it that much different from the previous releases, or is it just that big of a phenomenon game wise that like the iPhone, like there's going to be people
It's more like the iPhone, more of a hype than anything else, but it's actually a really good game and it lives up to the standards. And since the past games have been really good, everybody's looking forward for what they're gonna make next. They had all these games that are really good, and all the other makers and these other type of games that they have been making, which is Red Dead, which old cowboy, open world. Everybody appreciated it, old school, old style, and they like the gameplay that they came up with. So, they're coming out with a new game, so they're like, I gotta see what they're gonna do now. And they've been hyping it up with these little videos where you look at these videos and these pictures where it looks so real.
Right.
It's so real, like, wow, I'm actually get to do whatever I want and it looks real. And you get a lot of gameplay and a lot of little mini games with this game. And these videos just hyped it up a lot.
A lot of the screenshots were so good that I would post them on our fan page, and I would say, "Look, I'm over here at the pier," and they're like, "Oh, what pier is that?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's a video game." That's how realistic this game
Wow.
looked. They haven't announced it yet, but it's probably gonna come out for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 when it comes out in November.
Right.
Because the graphics on those screenshots were so good that it had to be next gen graphics.
No, they had like Grand Theft Auto Miami,
Vice City,
Vice
yeah.
City, and which is great. Near and dear people, friends, North Carolina, Montana, and everything. It's like, hey man, is it really like that there? Because I was hearing that since high school, and I would say yes, yes,
Times 10.
absolutely, sure. Oh yeah, I would. By the way, moving back and forth, it's funny how ignorant people are of other places. Because the people in Montana thought that I dodged bullets all the time here.
Yeah.
And I would say, oh yeah, we just guns, and that would, they didn't understand that they had more guns in a square block in Montana than in a square mile down here. I remember going to high school down here and walking behind these guys wearing their TA, and they were wearing silk shirts and ties. And this is South Miami High. This is like 1980, 81. Yeah, go Cobras. Thank you. And I'm walking by, and they got the trunk open, and they're showing off the martial arts equipment to each other. And apparently, from what I could gather in the conversation, this is a gang. These well-dressed gentlemen with their pencil-thin mustaches and the dippity-doo in their hair, and the silk shirts and the pointy shoes and the ties. They're in a gang, and they're bragging. They're bragging about, oh, it's Bruce Silverman. They're bragging about their martial arts equipment. I'm like, I know fourth grade girls
You're
that have
describing
guns.
the 80s or now, because that sounds
Yeah.
like what they dress like now. And
After
they're
high
doing
school,
now.
yeah, and they're bragging about their bats and their everything. Bruce Silverman, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't even know what to say after that introduction.
Well, I mean, I wasn't I wasn't expecting you to be calling in the middle of my description of gang warfare in
South Miami.
in South Miami senior high. Those are my Cubans. I came down here to reconnect with the Cubans. Oh boy, it didn't work out. Anyway, how you doing, Bruce? I was just talking about the Strikers game. You know, we got some soccer fans.
We're very excited about doing it. Calling our second game. It's going to be the hometown Strikers against the cross-state rivals Tampa Bay Rowdies. A rivalry that dates back to the original NASL, and looking forward to it. 7:30 live on SoFlo Radio and live from historic Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale.
Great, and I'm really sorry that I can't be there this time because the guest that I'm bringing on next, I'm taking my entire family to see her, and I did make an effort to get out of it and change plans, but there's no one else available to be daddy tomorrow night. I'm on deck, so, and that's what the children want to go do. They want to go watch Daphne play as opposed to going and watching soccer, which is what these guys want to do actually.
No, and I get it. I understand it. I mean, we all have family obligations, and I know you're going to have a good time. We're going to have a great time.
Sure.
At the game, there were 7,600 people at the Cosmos game. I think they're expecting a pretty sizable crowd for this one as well. Soccer is moving and grooving in South Florida right now. The Strikers are at the center of it. A win against the Rowdies would put them one point behind the Rowdies, who are in second place right now. The winner of this particular section of the season will end up in Atlanta on November 9th to play for a league championship in the Soccer Bowl. Strikers still have an outside chance of doing it. They looked a lot better before. Their chances looked a lot better before they played the Cosmos 2 weeks ago. They were only a point behind the Cosmos. They gave up a 2-0 loss, and then they had another 2-0 loss in their game after that. So they put themselves in a hole, but there's an opportunity for them to get out of it with a win against the Rowdies.
Excellent. I mean, yes. I don't know. It's soccer. It's sports. I totally blanked out. These guys understood every word of it.
No, hey, look, and that's the beauty of SoFlo Radio is that we have radio shows that tackle all kinds of different subjects. You know, you do the topical stuff, you do the politics.
That's the only thing.
News of the day.
It's the only thing that I can't get into, and it's so funny because people ask me, you know, how did you work at QM all the time? And it's I just don't hear it. And they go, how could you I hear white noise. It's like listening to a conversation in Mandarin Chinese. It's just you know,
doesn't apply.
It's funny. It's like Morse code or something. It just my brain filter just is wonderful that way. Just
and I don't think Cubans and soccer really relate too well.
You know, and that's true. That's funny because soccer is so very international, and it's huge in Latin America everywhere except for Cuba, and you know why that is. You know, the Cubans have always strived to be very American. They embrace baseball and things like that because they wanted to identify with America.
And they're Republicans.
Well, yeah, but that's even in Cuba. Like they shunned Spanish things. They stopped bullfighting and started doing baseball in Cuba at a very early in their history because they wanted to identify with America and they wanted to look that way in front of the world and in Spain. It's like, no, we're America. This is America. This is Latin America, not Spain with the siestas and the bullfighting and the soccer and all that.
Well, it's Miami South.
Sure. But it is huge. Soccer is huge all around the world, and I'm glad that we're broadcasting the Strikers game, even if I don't understand anything that's going on. But I wasn't bad at soccer. Anything that I could, where you didn't have to be a big guy, I did all right in baseball and in soccer. So it is fun to play, but I have no idea what's going on.
Most of the guys have just been doing some prep work for the broadcast, and most of the guys on the Strikers are under 6 feet tall. There aren't a lot of tall guys on the team. A lot of guys that are obviously very fast and very talented. Again, going back to what I was talking about before, what is really great about SoFlo Radio is that we've got politics shows, we have music shows, we have sports shows, we have topical shows, we have entertainment. Hopefully, very shortly, we'll get Phil Henry on the station from 10 to 1 on weekdays.
Yep. Just spoke to him this morning.
What's great is that it's a station for everyone. And, the days of this type of radio have been long gone for a long time. You can go into any city and you can find the sports station, and in South Florida there's 4 of them. You can find a news station. You can find a politics station. You can find the lunatic station.
Oh, that's us.
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't say that we're the lunatics. I'd say we're probably the most normal of the bunch.
Sure.
The lunatics I was referring to are the Hannitys and the Rush Limbaughs.
Oh, those
and
lunatics,
everybody else.
yeah. We take our insanity seriously here on the station.
Yeah.
Well, as well we should.
Well, these guys come to find out the Game Bros. This is a new show coming on board. I mentioned it to him when I mentioned it to you when I spoke to you this morning. I didn't know they were soccer fans. I thought like most Miamians, they talked about the football and the Dolphins, which they do. But apparently, Roger and DJ Fuego, they're into soccer.
And what will freak you out the most is I'm actually a hockey fan since 1994.
Really?
It's hard to find a hockey fan in Miami
anymore.
What's that?
We had a big run.
Well, from 1994, you're talking about the first year of the Panthers, and that was a fantastic time. I mean, George, I know that you tuned a lot of this stuff out, but you were producing.
I was
for Neil.
I got a plaque, a certificate, and an autographed hockey puck over there, right under Neil. We're gonna grab that hockey puck over there, Larnell, right next to the box. You got to stand
right
up
in front of you. Right in front of
and
you.
then
I got a Tom
it's a hockey
Fitzgerald
puck.
signed stick. Tom Fitzgerald.
I had a
Wait, did he just say a signed spick?
A signed spick, yeah. He just signed me when he came in here with a Sharpie, no less, on my bald head, on my bald spot.
There you go. No, despite the fact that you tuned out most sports, obviously, the run that the Panthers made in 1996, losing in the Stanley Cup Finals to the Avalanche, you heard a lot of conversation, when Neil was doing his show that year. So you had to learn a little bit about hockey at that point.
I played street hockey, actually. See, that's the thing that I have to keep explaining to people. I don't watch men play games. I play games, and if it's a game that I play, then I know all about it. I played, sand lot or empty lot football until the size difference became a problem. When we were all the same size and we were all little kids, it was great. But I stopped growing when I was about 7, and everybody else kept growing. So physics kicked in, and I couldn't play that game anymore. The same thing with basketball, but baseball, soccer, and hockey. When I had the opportunity, when we had a fat old man hockey league down here, which I really miss. I really miss those guys. They would stop every 10 minutes for a beer and a cigarette. I could totally hang with those guys, and I'm good on skates. I'm good on blades and quads. I would join a fat old man hockey league again right now. So yeah, I know the rules, and I enjoyed going to the Panther games back then because that was an event. You get that food, that stadium food, and people are yelling, and the pucks are flying everywhere, causing severe brain damage. That's because it's not fun unless you can get hurt. So I really enjoyed those events.
Well, and that's still there. The Panthers now,
I know what a hat trick is.
With another new owner. The team just changed hands last week.
Again?
So it'll be interesting to see if Panthers on the brink of their 2013-2014 season with a new owner, what's going to happen. Team, has been bottom dwellers pretty much since that Stanley Cup run in '96.
They won last night 4-2 against the Stars.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. A nice way to open up the season.
And their rookie, the second round draft pick, scored a goal yesterday. So that's really good to see that the youth is starting to pick up for their program.
And Tim Thomas did pretty good in the pipes.
It's the issue for the Panthers. Can they sustain that type of goal scoring and the keeping and get themselves into a playoff hunt this year? Last year, the shortened season was a disaster for them, and memory serves, I think they had the worst record in the National Hockey League. That's something that they're pretty much used to. Thankfully the Marlins season is over. And it was a horrible one, worst record in the major, not in the major leagues, but in the National League. Probably worse in attendance for the entire major leagues.
And they ended off. with a no-hitter. Go figure.
And they end up with a no-hitter. And the sad thing is that there was a time when the first game and the last game of the season would be sellouts, and that certainly was not the case this year. This is a team that was projected to be very bad. They were. Attendance was horrible. There were nights in that stadium where if a foul ball was hit into a section, you didn't have to fight with anybody else to get that foul ball. You could have just had it. It was pretty much pick a seat night just about any night. To buy a ticket to sit in the outfield and sit behind home plate kind of reminded me of the Braves in the 1980s when they would sell tickets for $1 and you could sit in Ted Turner's box because he wasn't there and nobody else was there. And sports in South Florida is not very exciting right now. It's kind of sad. The Marlins suck. The Dolphins, I think, came down to reality a little bit the other night in their loss. The only thing that really is going to probably be exciting is watching the Heat and seeing if they can three-peat, see how good LeBron James really is, see how healthy Dwayne Wade really is. And that's what makes being a part of broadcasting the soccer games on SoFlo Radio is great. So we're going to do the game on Saturday night. Everybody can tune in at 7:30 right here on SoFlo Radio. We'll carry the game live.
Yeah.
And then in the spring, we plan on picking up their entire spring schedule.
I really like these away games that you're talking about and trying to negotiate something there.
Me too.
I want to sign up.
Great. And
talk about role reversal.
We'll be able to put something together next week.
Bags?
Yeah, I'm going to be whatever the broadcast schlepper here. I'm going to pull rank as station owner and manager to employ myself as the guy that carries this stuff.
The wires.
Just so I can go.
Well, that's great. I would love for you to do that, George, because I don't want to be the guy that carries anything.
No, that's my job.
That's Jack's job, And by the way, if this might sound horrible, but I feel bad asking Jack to do menial labor things.
Yeah, it fits. I fit the quota, don't I?
No, that's why. I'm a little sensitive about that. I think it's too close to home.
Yeah, a little.
What is it? Reverse discrimination?
Yeah, well, I've like Jack volunteered to do the dishes the other day, and I kind of winced. Like, okay.
Yeah, let the black guy clean the dishes.
I guess you can clean dishes. I just feel really bad. It's like I just want everybody to know that I'm not telling you to. All right, you volunteered.
Yeah.
Right, it's
Makes
not
sense.
part of your job
Well, the good thing, George, is that you didn't ask to wear a tuxedo and do that.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Need anything else done, sir? Want me shiny shoes, sir?
Oh no, Bruce! Thank you so much for calling in.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate it very much. We'll see everybody on the radio 7:30 on Saturday night, tomorrow night,
right,
from Lockhart Stadium, and every single Monday night we'll see you on Silverman on Sports on SoFlo Radio.
Yep. Thank you, Bruce.
All right, y'all be good.
Meanwhile, back to Grand Theft Auto 5. Did you you guys already saw this apparently?
Yeah.
You saw the video? I saw this morning.
Off a cliff. Fly your plane into a blimp. Fight a girl with PMS.
What?
Try to steal some fighter jets. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die while playing GTA 5.
What's that?
Should we do a play-by-play? Because I don't
Play chicken
That's a good
with
song.
the train.
He's playing chicken
Tell
with the train.
Trevor that he's insane.
The house blown up. All right.
Shoot
That's a good song. Yeah, we don't have to.
of natural gas.
We're not gonna get in trouble, are we?
You can move it.
Door when you're
What?
driving
From who? From
fast.
this guy?
Dumb ways
Wow.
to die.
I want to get in trouble.
The house that was blown up was actually like a meth lab.
Die.
Oh, like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
While playing GTA
What happens is that he was getting pushed over by another meth lab, so he actually walks into the house,
Yeah.
kills everyone inside, and just to make sure. No, we're not talking about Breaking Bad. We're
Okay,
talking
good.
about GTA. So
Yeah, I was all set.
that's one of the rules. Like, don't talk about GTA in public because people might think you're talking about real life.
Yeah, that's a very smart rule.
I was in the
Yeah.
bathroom on the phone talking to my friend. I'm like, get the gun, shoot the guy in the face, and the guy walked in like, and he had this scared look on his face.
Yeah.
So he ends up burning down the meth lab so he could be the only meth lab in town.
That's great. I really enjoy. I've been. I don't want to play this whole thing. So, you're familiar with the kind of show that I do and I've done with Neil. And one of the things that always bothered me, going all the way back to, I don't even remember when it started.
I was waiting for the poll. When are you gonna say the poll? What's the poll today?
Yeah, that was more work than it was worth. No vale la pena, as they say in Ireland. Because you remember Neil's, self-proclaimed nemesis Jack Thompson, and his whole anti-video game crusade. He wasn't he's the most notorious person to make money off of blaming video games for people's actions. But I'm trying to remember what the very first video game was that people started going ape crap about.
Well, the biggest
Doom?
reason. Well, the biggest problem was
Doom? Makes sense.
The biggest problem with video games when they started becoming headlines and news is when the shooting over there in Denver, in Colorado.
Columbine.
The Columbine. The whole thing that, I was playing video games.
Yeah.
So that is what sparked.
They also
the
drank
whole
whole milk as opposed to 2% milk,
Oh.
which, is that milk fat. Everybody
drives you
should
crazy.
be illegal.
Too much hormones.
What I always tell my friends, I have a lot of friends that play Madden.
Milk was a bad choice.
And I'm still waiting for them to get drafted into the NFL. so if video games,
That's good,
make
yeah.
killers, like if you play Call of Duty, Battlefield, such and such, and they make killers, why aren't we getting any of these new NFL stars from Madden or from NCAA or people that play FIFA? Why aren't they not playing for Manchester United making millions?
Because, like George said, the thumb thing, you can't,
man.
can't throw a ball. When you throw the ball, you think you could use the toggle thing, the toggle button. No, you can't do that.
Hit
Don't
X,
worry.
hit the X.
Actually, gotta use your arm.
Yeah, my dad stopped playing video games once they added the third button. He's like, he could
What do you
do
want?
two, but not the third one. It's like, what do
too
I
much.
do with
What do you
this
press
third
the
one?
third one with? I just
Yeah.
couldn't. It all fell apart because I was. Let's go. Because I'm the perfect age. Yeah, I'm old, but I'm the perfect age to be a guest on your show. That's what we're gonna do. I'm pretending to be a guest on your show. I'm the guy that remembers when they wheeled in the first video game. It
Atari?
actually happened. Space Invaders. I'm playing pinball. All right. At the bowling alley, boop, 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 and I think it was Aces Wild or something like that, or it was a playing card based video game. I mean, a pinball machine.
Mhm.
And they wheel in this big. I thought it was a refrigerator.
Yeah.
But they put it in an empty spot there, and start unwrapping it. And here's a TV with buttons in the front.
Yeah.
And the graphics
One
on the
button.
outside.
One button, yeah.
The joystick,
Joystick
and
and a
the
button.
and the shoot
Joystick
button.
and a button.
Galactica.
Well, you had to one player, two player button.
Oh,
Was there.
okay.
All right.
How about Pac-Man?
And all of that. I'm
We
getting
go
to
all-
that.
yeah.
I'm getting to that, Larnell.
Yeah.
This is Space Invaders. It was two colors, green and black.
Trust me, I remember those type of games. Yeah.
And how old are you, man?
29.
All right, but you remember the games, but you don't remember a time when they didn't exist.
Right.
You don't remember sitting there and
Pre and
here's-
post.
Here's me and famous last words. It was like George says stupid things that turn out to be stupid later. Like for example, when I first smoked Crippy, I said $100 for a quarter. Get out of here. I'm not gonna pay. A week later, it's like what are regs? I don't want to touch regs.
What's that?
What are regs?
What?
I don't even. What are you talking about? Get that lawn rakings away from me. Same kind of thing. They wheel in this TV and they turn it on, and there it is doing its demo. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
One of my friends goes over and sticks a quarter in it, and I'm watching them play. Them, like, compared to understand something, the Aces Wild that I was playing had things to knock down, little things to knock down, and we were good at it. I was good at it, and lights and sounds. It was this big, and
pinball's not an easy game. It takes
There was
skill.
a lot going on, and flip catch the
Timing.
ball, flip it up the
Oh, you
ramp,
hip
and everything,
into
bonus
it.
shots, and it was exciting. We're having exciting times, and then you're
Shake
up,
it and-
yeah. It's just we were really rocking that machine. My friend goes over, and we're all right. Let's see what this is all about. Puts a quarter in there, pew, 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 boom, 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 pew, pew. Like, get out of here with this thing. Are you? I'm gonna put a quarter to play the TV, and I waved it off, and I go back over to play the pinball machine. 1 week later, Here I am.
High score.
Yeah, high score. And then,
Breaking a hard sweat.
and then the second one they wheeled in was asteroids, and that was that. And that was a pinball. What? Pin what? Asteroids. And my friend Hair Lip Larry, who I talk about on the show all the time. Hair Lip Larry became the asteroids whiz, where he was the guy that could play perpetually. He would put 1 quarter in the machine and then just rack up spaceships across the top. And then he would when he was tired of playing, he would find somebody around and say, "Yo, give me a
50
quarter.
cents.
Give me a quarter, and I'll let you take over the game." And then they would die in like 5 minutes. At that level, the asteroids were a blur. I don't even know how he played. He just got into this time warp zone where he was moving so much faster, relatively speaking, than the rest of us, and it was all in slow motion to him. But the asteroids were moving so fast you could barely see them at that point. It's like, how do you even? I need hyperspace and do all the tricks. And
it's once you start getting skillful at anything, everything seems to start slowing down for you.
But I remember here the concept of blaming something external for people's actions that goes back
comic books
to spoken word, that language, human language, because just anything. I'm thinking, what, like,
even
I remember
poets,
Dungeons and Dragons. There was a kid that killed some people, and he played Dungeons and Dragons, so he was living out his Dungeons and Dragons fantasy. How about all the people that because
in the 1930s, comic books were banned for a long period of time.
Oh, really?
And they had to go through basically like this whole certification. It had to have a certain stamp on it that it meet all the criteria for it to be sold.
Right.
Yeah, because for that back in the day, they thought comics books were the problem, just like period.
Yeah.
It was propaganda. It was viewed as propaganda.
I like to point at this.
Why are they showing pictures of people's briefs?
It's a commercial. Ustream shows commercials, and that's one of the reasons we want to find another delivery method from Ustream. We might have to have our own servers and video and everything like that, and we might do TV, which is interesting for you guys. That's another thing. We're actually having a meeting on Monday with some people that are doing internet television and YouTube optimization and things like that.
YouTube live streaming.
Yeah. Well, we have please like our YouTube channel, SoFlo Vision. It's youtube.com/SoFloVision. This show is going to be on there afterwards. If we get 1,000 prescribers, if I get 1,000 prescribers, I could really move some oxys.
Yes. Dr. Rodriguez in the building. Yeah.
I just discovered a market.
Dr.
Now all I need to do
Heisenberg.
is discover a supply. So, if we get 1,000 subscribers, then we can stream live on our SoFlo Vision channel. So everybody, please, when you go watch this later on, subscribe to that. But that's we're exploring, just so you know, better video delivery methods, because I know you guys do a TV show and it's video and you put stuff up and it's very, very slick.
Yeah, because it's hard to describe with words some of the stuff that video games do.
Well, it's right. Well, it's a visual thing, so so you need that. So we got SoFlo, SoFlo Radio and SoFlo Television, and it's an audio visual delivery method that we want to fuse. We might even take over that other room over there. We got another room right next to us and make that like TV studio thing. But you're building a studio, really beautiful high-end studio at your house. Because you married some rich chick or something? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I married
my brother is like.
Does she have a sister?
She actually has 3 sisters.
Hey, Larnell.
Line them up.
What is it? 22, 20, and 18-year-old.
Oh, you're out of luck.
okay.
You're out of luck. You're out of luck.
Yeah, that's.
Hey.
I'll tell you a story out there, but no.
Yeah, wait. They're better in line with George. I'm sure George is looking for some younger 20-somethings.
I'm not looking for anyone of any particular age. Things just happen. Okay.
They look for you.
I wish that would be nice. That would be really nice. I'm planning on getting the divorce done with before I start looking. All right. But right now, I'm just.
But you gotta start lining them up.
I'm about my business. I don't want to
That
see.
paper.
Here's the thing. You know that old joke? Have you heard that joke? I don't want to belong to the kind of club that would have someone like me as a member.
That's new.
Chicks that date married guys, even if they're going through a divorce,
then they're gonna start dating other married men.
Well, maybe not just like, but I know, like, for example, I meet women and they say, like when you're not married anymore, look me up. Maybe I won't be busy. Maybe I'll still be single. I don't know. Just whatever.
It's not
it is.
happening right now.
Yeah, don't be married. Don't be married. Next time you want to talk to me, just don't be married, man. It's like
You should do it like the Adam Sandler movie. You ever seen that movie where he plays that he's married but he's not?
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
he just
yeah, the
picks
one
up
with,
chicks like that. With Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, you mean
Everything
Adam
is-
Sandler? Like, yeah, I forgot what
That
I
guy.
forgot what the
yeah.
movie was called.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is that he always plays like the
The guy with the anger issue.
what is it called? No, the victim. He always plays the
victim.
Oh, yeah,
victim.
yeah.
Oh, she's so mean to me,
Uh-huh.
and I put up with her, and the girl feels bad for him, and come on.
I'm
let's
thinking of
just
the
date.
wrong movie. Anger management.
No, no.
Yeah.
That's-
I feel pretty.
So, I started just trying to
Little
gather.
tangent, yeah.
Well, I had things that I wanted to cover was because the video game thing. So,
You remember
video
when
games-
Pac-Man became like the tabletop style?
At-
That
at
was
the-
like
at
in
the
all the
bars.
bars.
That was
had
for the-
those for
the
some
bars.
Yeah,
reason.
with the little.
I thought when you drank
cue
alcohol,
ball.
it made you not hand-eye coordinated. So
It doesn't.
So that's what it was
But
for,
it
just
does-
to take people's money.
Exactly.
Probably,
It
yeah.
does make you make bad decisions. Like I think I'll play Pac-Man right now
For $1.
for $1 while I'm effed up.
Yeah.
I'm effed up. I'm faced, and
Just throw it in there.
so everything went fine. This is the evolution of George's gaming life. Everything was going fine at the arcades, and I was in arcade at the roller rink. I had video games, so I'm at the roller rink. So you get good at stuff. I was good at asteroids. I'm not like Hair Lip Larry, but I was all right, and Pac-Man, and okay. My best game was Phoenix.
He'll tell you a story about Hair Lip Larry.
Oh,
one of these
lots
days.
of stories.
Lots of stories.
I'll show you pictures, but and then Tempest and Donkey Kong, and that was down here. I come down here, and we got Donkey Kong and all this stuff, and everything was going fine. And then the first home unit that I got was the Atari Pong, like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I could work the knob. I could turn the knob. That's fine. Boop boop. I'm playing Pong. All right. Then the joystick with the one button thing came on it. And that was a little tough. I had to figure out how to anchor that thing because I'm used to consoles, right? The Atari. I'm used to consoles where that thing weighs a ton. You're not going to move that thing, and you can move yourself with it.
Yeah.
Body English. You just And we would. So I get the Atari console thing, and then all right, now how do I I wanted to
hold it
I
on
wanted
your
to
hand like you're
hold
holding
it something. I wanted to hey,
like
step on this thing, will you?
like how they teach women to
Yeah.
Yeah. So
cut the ball,
already,
cut the thing and
already we were
hold the
starting to go our
shaft.
separate ways, but then Nintendo.
That movie came on last week.
The Nintendo
Old
controller
school.
came out, and right, a little up down, little X, and I'm like, oh my god, my friend. I remember the day. My friend got one. And
How old were you when the Nintendo came out?
I was
Because I was like around 6.
that one that the square one.
Came with a robot.
I was maybe somewhere between 12 and 14.
Okay.
Something like that, I want to say. No older than 16. But my friend
So you
had
were
that
in high
me-
school.
Yeah, and he handed me that, and that's when I discovered that my thumbs don't work.
Well, no,
That's when
they
like,
work, but they're just gonna hurt like
in
hell.
slow motion. No, I don't have. I had understand something. I wasn't like the best video game player in the world at the arcade, but I was up there. Like if you took everybody in the arcade and graded them on the
Top
curve,
20%.
I was a solid B. I was a B plus. You had the A players that like Hair Lip Larry that had their game and they were aces, and I had my games that I was good at. Like maybe at Phoenix I was an A minus. I could clear that maybe a couple times. At my best, and there are other games that I was good at, and so I wasn't bad at hand-eye coordination at all. I was good, and all of a sudden the thumb game, man, and I was not good. And I really tried. I tried to practice. I tried to apply myself. Nothing. It was horrible. Anything with a joystick was over. Even the Commodore 64 games that came with a joystick, like Mule, and we got the Mule theme. It's the powwow theme. Is the Mule theme over here? I don't know if you ever played any of those, because I know you guys are the experts. But did you ever play any of those old Commodore games?
Yeah, you had to be rich to play on Commodore, I think.
Well, I never owned a Commodore. My friends, I was
Exactly.
really, really poor.
No one ever owned one. They had a friend that had one.
Yeah. Remember, I love this music, man.
Yeah, it's good.
But this was for a game called Mule. It was an acronym, Multi-Use Land Equipment, and you had to colonize an alien world, and you had to control your mule with the joystick, and and you and your friends would race to see which plots you could get. You would do surveys, and you would try to find the plots, and you would do auctions.
Sounds
and
like
bid
work.
against each other. Yeah, but it had a joystick, so
That's what she said.
It was fun. And I was fine. I was fine with the freaking joystick and the trigger finger. And Flight Simulator's fine. But then everything went thumb control.
Yeah.
Now there isn't. In Grand Theft Auto, all of these, Xbox, PlayStation, what else? Wii. I played a
What's
Wii
a
game
Wii?
once. Yeah, I played a Wii game once. One. My daughter loaded up a game. It was some sword fighting game. It's like, here you go, Dad. Just do that. And I'm like, and I fought, this monsters with the sword. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I feel like a tool. I feel really silly. So I'm done with this. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go back to the roller rink. Thank you very much. So that was it. So that marked the end of it. I'm an old man. I'm obsolete because I can't use my thumbs. I suppose you guys just all day long.
I'm an old guy myself in regards to the video games, because I would say when the whole attack the video games thing came about was around the time I had a similar moment like George. There was Street Fighter, and then came this new thing called Mortal Kombat. You could pull heads out and you could see the spines and all this other stuff, and then Doom and all those other games started to come. So after that, it got way more complicated, like Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that. I was like, you know what, I have somewhat of a bit of ADD. All this talking is getting on my nerves. Let's start shooting and do something. So I can completely relate to George, because it got to a point where I'm like, my thumbs hurt.
Well, the same thing happened with Madden. Madden evolved to the point where you actually got to go to college to play this now.
Wow.
Before it was hike the ball, open receiver, pick the receiver, throw it. Now you have all these kids trying to, they're cover two, they're the safety slant to the right, the tight end's gonna be open. I'm like, just hike the damn ball, and just let me pick you off and score a touchdown, and let's just go home.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Wow. I remember Mortal Kombat. We used to play it in our house, but in our house was a Christian home, so you could not have blood.
So wait, a Christian home?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
So let's stick to Mortal Kombat. So
that's kind of
we had to find out, because at the time Mortal Kombat came out for the Super Nintendo, it had no blood, so you had to have a secret code to be able to have the blood and be able to do the fatalities and all that stuff.
Oh, really? Like the arcade, they didn't have that because of special things or something.
The arcade had it, but when it was starting to come into homes, they told Midway, hey, look, you got to leave all this blood and guts and gore out. But that's why all the kids bought Mortal Kombat, was to see all that.
Yeah.
I learned most of my anatomy through Mortal Kombat.
I try to explain. We started out talking why you think that Grand Theft Auto is so popular, and the answer to that question is, and I try to tell the fundamentalist Christians this. I say, you do understand, because I have friends and family that are like really fundamentalist, like really like speaking in tongues and everything.
Yeah.
And I say, you do understand that you are the ones that determine which products will become popular with regards to video games and music and movies and TV shows. The people that buy these things are waiting to see which one of them freaks you out, and then they run in huge droves to buy that. They're not interested in anything unless it freaks you, the Christians, out. Once you start getting all wiggy about something and protesting something, Jack Thompson, they want it. They're like, ask Luke, ask Uncle Luke that, ask Luther Campbell that.
He's a millionaire.
People, and then they go, why? But why? And I go, because you suck. Because your children hate what you like. Because you are denying your children everything that they like and what they want. And so you are the litmus test. You are the thermostat. You are the divining rod that determines what people are going to flock for based on what you have a problem with. Your tastes suck. You're wrong about everything. That's why these games. And by the way, you are creating a market where the people are in a contest. Whether it's Satan rock, gangsta rap, violent movies, violent TV shows, sex on TV, or video games. Violent video games. The reason that these people are in a contest to see who can be the most shocking is because they want to shock you, so that you will tell the people which game to go buy by having a problem with it. They're deliberately trying to shock you to sell the freaking game. Yeah.
Yeah, because no bad publicity is good publicity. How does that saying go?
Round 2.
So no matter what, they get good pub. Like, I always get this whole thing. Aren't you too old for video games? Aren't you too old for this? And I am going back full circle with the 1 billion sold in 3 days thing. So there's got to be some Christians buying this game.
Yeah.
Well, $1 billion is a lot of money.
I want to check this out. Let me see what all this talk is about.
Oh, you got people like Jack Thompson would and I think it was Grand Theft Auto was his first original deal that he had a problem with, and the TV intoxication was his first thing, and then he went into the video game thing. But I think it was
Counter-Strike.
Was it Counter-Strike?
Because it was all about killing and shooting and getting high-power rifles and stuff like that. So the kid from Columbine would practice with playing Counter-Strike. Yeah. And that's what the whole thing was. So he's like, see, look, we're training our kids to be, murderers and this and that. And lo and behold, the kid had just mental problems and needed, mommy and daddy to hug him more. Maybe if mommy and daddy would play Counter-Strike with the kid, he would be, a happier kid and not want to go to school and kill somebody. It's just like that whole half-baked thing where the dad's smoking weed and the son's smoking weed. It's like, the dad's over here trying to figure out how he can,
bond with
his son, and they could just get together and just smoke out.
Society forces you to be a hypocrite. Although you can play Grand Theft Auto with your kids, nobody will freak out about that. But if you smoke your kid out, somebody would have a problem with that. Like I never.
You're gonna add these to their soundboard now?
I never. Why not? I never smoked my older daughter out, but I took her to Guar, and I made sure that she was allowed to listen to whatever music, and the first time that she ever heard of ICP was in my car, playing things like that for her, because I wanted her to be exposed to those kinds of things around me, so that I could gauge her response to it, and B, make sure that I explained it in the proper context, and that is that it's art. And I explained it to her from a very early age. I said, these people are using this language on purpose to try to make people angry. As soon as they make somebody angry, they'll sell a lot. And I explained the whole phenomenon to her, and it made sense.
Sorry.
That's a keeper.
So you asked me what made GTA so popular. I think in a whole, the word freedom comes to mind.
Yeah.
The freedom to be able to do what you want. If you just want to drive around, you could drive around. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
So I think that's what appeals to people, the freedom to do whatever you want. Because in everyday life, we don't have that choice to do whatever we want.
I try to explain that to people that don't understand my, and I haven't had time for a game of jacks, a game of cards lately. I've been so busy. I used to play games all the time, any kind of game. And people would ask me, why you like playing games so much? And I would say, because it doesn't matter. Specifically, because it doesn't matter. In life, if you're at school, you get a wrong answer, bad grade. You go to your job, you make a mistake, you got yelled at, your boss yells at you, or you lose money, or you
could even do a good job and still get
yelled at to pay. Everything matters. In a relationship, you got a wife or a girlfriend, you say the wrong thing, you're in a fight, you get yelled at. You're out driving your car, you make a mistake, you got an accident, or you get a ticket or something like that. Everything that you do matters. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to do something for a while that no matter what I do, it doesn't matter. There are no negative repercussions. I can just do whatever I want, WTF, and it's okay. It's an escape, and it's a wonderful vacation. It's and you can. And I try to explain the people that I know that are Christians that are freaked out about the violence and everything. I say, don't you understand that there's a huge segment of the population that has a lot of stress and pent up frustration, that if they didn't have the ability to pretend violence, if they didn't have this release, this escape, they would have no other option but to engage in real violence. These people are tense. These people are angered up. Those of us who play these violent games, they don't make us want to be more violent. They get it out of our system. That we feel better afterwards, and we'll have a rough day at work, and it's like, I can't wait to kill some orcs, or whatever game du jour, whatever game you're into. It's a calming, releasing thing to get your anger out on an inanimate object or something, a character that's made out of light or paper or something like that. So they have it all wrong. They have it all backwards. And I think that the sense of humor that Grand Theft Auto has, which is my favorite thing about it. And again, I tried my hand at it. I suck. I mostly watch other people play. But I do really appreciate the sense of humor that they have, where you can, pick up a person and beat another person with a person. I mean, you can throw someone at someone else. And
awesome.
It really is a really cool environment that way. Is the content so much newer and different
No, it's basically
And
the
5?
same old stuff. Just some missions are more elaborate. Like before, you used to the mission, let's say, was to be to rob a bank. In this one, you would actually have to plan it out. How will you rob this bank? Are you gonna hire a good driver? Or are you gonna go cheap with the driver? Depending on the different jobs, how much you want to give them a cut of the thing.
Okay.
So in one of the cases, we robbed the jewelry store. I went cheap on the gunman. I went good with the driver, and I went cheap with the computer guy. So when we went to go do the job, the computer guy could not hack the computer that opened the safe, so we lost a lot of money there.
Okay.
Then when we were trying to get away, I went cheap with the gunner, and we were on motorcycles, and he like wiped out, so we lost half the money with that. You know, I didn't want to curse, but the jackass lost half our money. So you get kind of pissed because you did this whole like scheme to try to steal all this money, and you lost half of it through the hacker and the gunman. So
Is there a PC based equivalent to?
They're gonna come out with a PC version of Grand Theft Auto.
See, there you go, because I can do fingertips.
Yeah,
I can do my fingertips as long as I don't have that controller. I might try that out. There have been some good virtual environments in the
and
PC
then
world.
once the PC version comes out, you get into modding. When they start modding stuff, like in GTA 4, they modded the cars so you could have Back to the Future. And then once you hit 88 miles an hour, it would go back into the future. It would just have the trails of fiery tires.
Oh, that's nice.
So they start modding the game like that. The guy will look like Batman. He can fly, do different things like that. So once you get into the PC side of things, they start modding the games and start making it crazy and wild.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I'm sorry that Bruce Silverman. What? Sorry that Bruce Silverman took up all that time talking, sports. I'm sure you didn't mind, but my eyes were rolling up in my head.
We noticed.
Yeah, you
wow,
noticed.
I was taking a trip. I was like snorting a big fat line of ketamine there, listening to that conversation. I was completely in orbit. Anyway, thank you very much, Roger. And we're gonna do more visits, more crossovers, because I don't want to talk about DJ Fireball over here, and the whole DJ thing, because everybody's a DJ except me. Apparently, so
DJ such or such.
But I like going to to the DJ sets. Is it EDM? Just real quick, what do you spin? What do you?
Drum and bass, electronic music. And stuff
Okay,
like that.
house,
Dubstep,
electro.
But I
dubstep.
strictly just drum and bass. I like that because it's fast paced, very crucial when you have to mix it.
How about trap? How about trap music?
I could do trap too. Yeah.
Cool. We'll have you on again. Maybe some DJing right there. Bring your laptop.
Yeah, bring some trap.
Be a faker. Yeah. Thank you very much, Roger Cuco Ortiz.
Thanks a lot.
And I'll
George.
shake your hand again.
Thank you,
DJ
George.
Fuego, thank you very much. Coming up next, Daphne Rose, ladies and gentlemen, on SoFloRadio.com.
SoFloRadio.com.
If there was no demand, there would be no supply.
SoFloRadio.com. Supplying what you demand.
Social media marketing. You know your business needs it, but you have no clue on how to do it. And who has the time?
Don't worry, you're not alone. Mouse Media is here to help.
Mouse Media has linked creativity, art, and technology to expand your web presence and increase traffic to your site. Visit them at mousemedia.us.
That's mousemedia.us.
Or follow Mouse Media on Twitter and on Facebook.
Mousemedia.us.
Have you ever wondered how you could make a difference in someone's life? What if you could help hundreds or even thousands of children? You might think it impossible, but it's within your reach. Right now, today, students in the U.S. rank 32nd in world math skills. It's time for our children to catch up, and you can help. Become an owner of one of the world's fastest-growing franchises, Mathnasium. Mathnasium is the leading math-only learning center in the U.S. Its only purpose is to make our kids better at math. Imagine helping hundreds, even thousands of students in your community improve in school and raise their self-esteem, all while doing something you truly love. Call us at 800-434-1360 to learn more about Mathnasium's exciting franchise opportunities. That's 800-434-1360 to learn how you can make a difference. Doing something you truly love. That's 800-434-1360. 800-434-1360.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
SoFloRadio.com.
Give us a call at 954-99-00036. Skype name SoFlo Radio. Mobile users call 954-990036. Skype name SoFlo Radio.
Used to be you couldn't sleep without me. For hours you'd rock me to the lullaby of your heartbeat. Now you're like a stranger on the far side of our bed. But I listen to the silence instead. Just 'cause my tears no longer move you, that don't make them any less real. I can't go on.
Well, I swear to stop that, but that's okay. Daphne's here. We're setting up. I really no. I was trying to. Jack actually chose it. He just chose the first one that he ran into. Daphne and Charlie. Charlie, we were talking about your fake show business name that you might want to think about. Just think about it, because I made the mistake of walking into a radio station and just using my real name. And that was that, and now I'm stuck with George Rodriguez.
Chuck the Cello.
Boring in 2 languages.
Charlie Cello.
Wow, what happened to the camera? Did we expand it or something? Did you move it around?
Yeah, I want to get Charlie in the shot.
Okay, very good. So bring it down just a hair, though.
Just a hair.
Just a hair. Just a little bit there. This is a very spontaneous radio show that we're doing over here. Daphne's and I. We won't mind you. I don't know which microphone. I want to put this one on you. You're talking to that one. We have so many microphones over here. We can even use Larnell's.
Well, yeah,
and incorporate it.
We could give Larnell this one.
When we start
Charlie
playing music. Use what now?
Larnell could use that one, and Charlie could use the loose one. Just turn. You could turn it. Yeah.
Well, because I want to put a microphone on the on the keyboards. There, Daphne's fuzzy stool. So Daphne Rose and son Charlie. We're gonna think of a fake name for Charlie.
Charlie Cello.
Showbiz name. But it's a bass. It's a bass. Charlie's a bass player. Really excellent bass player. When I first met Charlie, I remember the day that I met Charlie, and it was at the Luna Star Cafe, and he was helping Daphne with her equipment, and I did the fake handshake thing, and Charlie gave me this look. Don't
touch the old guy.
You're a tool. And so I thought, okay, this guy's really sophisticated, and I'm gonna have to think up a better trick, because the grade school fake handshake thing didn't fly with Charlie the first time, and then one time at your house I was listening to the boys, and then they were talking about me, and Charlie said, when I first met George, I thought he was a real tool. And that was it, and I really was like waiting for the but now, and it's something nothing. That was it. That was just like period, end of sentence, and that was it.
Yeah. I have never heard him say that tool.
No.
Your nose, it's crying.
Oh my God, it's turning red too. No, I made that up. Okay. Although I was stupid when I first met Charlie, and
neither
and
of
then
us
I
are
got just stupider.
anymore.
No, we're not. You look great. You look awesome.
I put on makeup.
I saw that. I did too.
I know.
Not on my face.
I know it's radio, but I just figured maybe somebody would
put
see
lipstick
me through
on my
the
nipples.
window.
I know. Well, we have.
No, they can see you.
Look at you on. See there?
Oh.
This is why I had you.
Yes.
Wait a second. It's like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
There's
more active over here.
It's kind of time travel. Look, there's me
Wait,
rubbing
I'm
my
just
boobies.
gonna wait until I can see me turn my head.
Yeah.
There it is.
You turned so fast, you pixelated.
Pixelated.
That's how amazing that is. So you're doing a show tonight. You heard? I don't know if you heard me talk to Bruce earlier. No, tomorrow night. Damn. I did that this morning. I had two conversations at once. Once Daphne on the phone and the Burger King drive-through people. That was going back.
I know.
You
had 2 egg McMuffins with. I guess it wasn't a McMuffin, but you
sandwiches.
have quiz sandwiches.
Bacon,
with bacon
egg, yeah, because I have to feed.
Yeah.
That was my and Jack's breakfast over here for.
And you're still living.
Awesome.
I'm still alive. It's just fast food anymore because I move fast and I have a lot of things to do, and so I just have to move really fast. No, tomorrow night, Luna Star Cafe, and there's a soccer game. Jack is going to be producing the soccer game, and I was originally I was supposed to go to that too, but I had already made these arrangements with you, forever. Not to mention that it's Daddy Day.
Right. And I have a special surprise for you tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because I'm bringing the girls.
I can't wait.
Possibly all the girls. I think
really?
I think
I would love to
I think the older daughter might be coming.
Princess,
She's
a
gonna
little bit
checking her
before her
schedule and
special day.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's gonna be so awesome.
Wait.
Me either.
Yeah.
My sister's coming down for that. I haven't seen her in 28 years. Maybe?
For October 18th? Or?
For the wedding.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
kvelling over that.
I
That's
wish
gonna be
you
the.
and your daughter so much happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, weddings. Oh.
Cue the music.
Yeah, weddings nauseate me.
Let's play some wedding music now. Yeah, yeah.
Play some bed wedding. Look at that. She just started banging on
just
piano right there.
Yeah. Talent.
So is this Charlie's been performing with you? I mean, obviously around the house you guys just play music. If you've ever been over to the Rose residence, that's just music going off all the time. It's just spontaneous jamming going on all the time. But has Charlie, because he doesn't have a microphone over here, I don't think he wants to talk. Has he been performing with you? Is he a member of your permanent band now, a permanent member of your band? And how long has this been going on?
My goodness. The poor, unfortunate young man is probably the only person who knows all of my tunes because he has had the misfortune of hearing me banging on them on the pianos for years now.
Otherwise, I think that's far from a misfortune.
Oh well, I think our musical tastes are different, but he does such a great job.
And he doesn't have to rehearse. He just I know this one.
But you know what, Daphne? I think that's something that a child should have. That bedrock of some type of music, whether it's classical, R&B, rock and roll, whatever. As long as you appreciate and understand, what it's about, you could venture off into anything.
Yeah,
but
I think the silent man in the corner has definitely ventured off into his own direction. So I kind of have to say, come here. Remember, can you play this with me, please?
He can play anything, right?
Yep,
I mean, he's
a great polka player. I mean, that's what he's totally into these days.
Oh, polka. You can play some polka.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
All right.
And
yes.
Trash rock and punk. He's really.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes,
I don't believe you.
or you mean when you mean trash rock, you mean more like thrash rock, that hard stuff.
Oh yeah,
right?
but with a hard T.
Dumpster rock. Yeah,
dumpster rock. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just jump on top of a dumpster. I think you could probably get some good, bass sounds from inside the dumpster. I was living in a dumpster for a while.
That's where we met.
Oh my gosh!
This is the original table with a hole drilled in it. When I was thinking of names for the company, one of the names was going to be Kitchen Table with a Hole Drilled in It Productions, based on this table, and the other one was going to be Overturned Dumpster Productions, because I like to tell people that the radio station's in an overturned dumpster, and they go, what? You overturn the dumpster and then you prop up the lid. That makes kind of a porch area, a little bit of an overhang there.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And that's what we're operating out of. And people would say, where are you broadcasting from? And I would say, overturned dumpster. They go, why an overturned dumpster? It's like, you ever try to get in and out of a dumpster that's not overturned? I mean, come on. That's a pain in the ass.
Yes, and all of a sudden, Sorry.
No, you can use Charlie's base to like hold
Yeah,
up
prop the little doors up, and
yeah.
and you know, when it gets really really windy and rainy, you just take the brooms or whatever you're propping the doors up and close it, and then you're just in there.
you're good.
You just if you rinse the dumpster out, it's not so bad, you know. And if you get one that's relatively new, that's also not so bad. You know,
okay.
Coming soon. Well, you know,
Okay,
we
I
talked about
know.
our housing problems for a long
I
time.
know,
Like,
I'm right there.
Let them auction my house off. There it went. Phew, I drive by it. You
And
know,
I'm-
the disadvantage of having a house that I can see from Sheridan when I cross the bridge is I look over there and I look at my dock and the boat isn't there. My boat isn't there. The boat is docked on my neighbor's dock. I get to watch that. I get to see that. I traded that boat that was given to me by Anna's grandfather. I traded it for a box of comics and a Michael Kors watch because the bank had let it set it adrift.
They had untied it?
They had untied it and let it drift, and the neighbor reeled it in and
Holy
hung on to it. And I said, yeah, just give me something. So there you go. But now I'm here, and I would take these. We have a light situation going on. Because of the webcam, if we take those pictures down, the backlight will silhouette us all.
Oh.
But otherwise, I really love my little office, my little view. I'll give you the tour. If you saw the production room, these are the SoFlo radio studios. Not big, but love the location. I've always used this building as a shortcut. There's a walkway. So if there's no parking on Hollywood Boulevard, you park on Harrison and then just walk through the hotel to get over here. And there's a little mini mall and everything. I always loved this building, old building, like 1920.
Right. It's great walking in here.
Yeah.
I was telling Larnell, I felt like I was getting on a showboat. You know?
Yeah.
It has all these little portal type accents, and it looks, and the colors too, and the little frames and stuff.
Real feng
like,
shui.
Old
Yeah.
Man River. I really felt like
Right.
it's like, you know, where's the paddle wheel?
We just have a paddle, not a paddle wheel.
Testing. Okay, because really, definitely, it's like even when I first came here, it's like it fits the whole essence of Ramada because it's like it's in the Ramada. You know, because if you ever stayed in Ramada and you know how the design looks, right? Just
Well, they didn't used to be connected to the hotel. They connected it at some point when a common owner, the same person, bought both of them, and then he connected them. This was originally called the Arcade, this building, and there was just different offices and buildings and things inside of it. Love being in this old building. Well, you remember you've been to the original studio several times, which is now where I live, so I couldn't really. It was conflicting the workspace and the living space. You just can't do that for a long time. But I really had to get out of there because people. We would have important guests on, and the other shows that did their shows out of there would have some big name guests on at some point. And some people were amused by the kitschy ghetto nature of that location, and some people were not so amused, especially if it was raining. If it had been raining and Lake George was in full bloom, and they would have to come, wading through the lake in their bare feet.
The Great Lake George.
But other people would, and sometimes not for me, but other shows would have guests, really big name guests that would show up like in a limo or something. And imagine a limo pulling into that lot and somebody getting out going,
"Perfect.
Where am I? Where did you take me? Why am I here?"
Oh,
so this place.
There's the crackhead. Oh.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that-
boy.
you can ask for directions. That's actually it's actually the doorman. So one of the guests said, "This is a great neighborhood. I actually got into a knife fight on the way to your door from my car," and I said, "Oh, that was security."
yeah,
That's a screening process. If you got past them, then you deserve to be here. Yeah. But this place obviously has limos pulling up either the Ramada or here all the time. Nothing unusual. I love it.
Hollywood
and
real
is
eclectic.
really
Free parking.
nice.
Yes. And plus it's right across from like the Hollywood Arts Park around Young Circle, just like right across, just going down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mickey Burns is right there. Yeah, I got to find out. You want a bamboo plant?
I can see my
just-
car. I prayed for
Good.
parking on the way over, and it was right in front.
There you
That's
go.
very.
Kismet.
I've had very good parking luck over here. Although I get to
see?
park under the building because I'm a tenant. I get to park under the Ramada. I feel very special.
Yeah.
You are special.
The guy moves the cones when he sees me pull
Ooh,
in
the
because I have the
cone
parking
mover.
pass. Yeah, I get to.
Only problem is he's moving it to block George from
Yeah,
parking in that spot.
I still can't get any respect, even though I'm a
Rodney
tenant.
Danger Rodriguez.
Oh,
Here,
yeah,
we got a new format on the show where we almost never take commercial breaks. We're just trying to make Jack's job easy.
Yeah.
There's no
What are we
point.
selling?
What are we selling? Bull, nothing. I have love sponsors. I just play their commercials. They give me money, and I'm too busy. I'm too busy to go doing sales. So.
And I forgot got your gift. I had a fan and a friend give me a gift for you, and I forgot it. So I'm gonna have to present it to you if you do come tomorrow.
I will. I'm there. I'm missing an exciting soccer game.
Holy cow! Well, maybe we can stream it on your watch.
Okay. Speaking of streaming, 'cause I want to.
Stuff. Yeah.
I want to give Larnell my phone. I lost it.
Oh.
I'm gonna reel it in somehow.
Okay.
There it is.
There you
go.
So we.
Because I want him to take a video. I mean, there's going to be a video.
Oh.
I want a better video.
And post it.
Those other videos that I took with my phone before looked really good.
Yeah, I should turn my phone off.
Or else like you can put it on silent or something. Yes, we can. Yeah.
Oopsie. The bag? Dropping kicks everywhere. So, this is great. Charlie has yet to say really a word that could be heard.
Well, let's
we
give him
could
a
arrange
microphone.
that. I mean, I could just stick a microphone over there.
Yeah.
Say hi, Charlie.
That's long enough.
Hi. Yes. You should have heard him on Sunday on WLRN. That was a whole different thing.
Yeah, very chatty.
I was getting spy reports that you were saying nice things.
Oh, good.
Here, Larnell, do you know how to use an iPhone? Because I want him to shoot a video.
Okay. Oh, how nice.
Well, let me put it in video mode. I don't trust Larnell.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
Do you want to tune, Charlie? I already did, I think. You did?
He'll be.
I love the tuning. I'm going to hire my daughter out as a tuner.
You should. A G?
We got music. Is this new? Are these new songs?
Well, do you want to hear a new one first?
Okay. You know I have favorites, but I was just asking.
Oh.
Oh, is this for the bass microphone? No, I'm gonna when they start playing, I'm gonna put my microphone over there.
Thing. It's not on the stand, so I'm at a different level than I've ever played.
Undo what you did. Like take that and put it back where it was before we started moving it. Okay. Like on the stand and yeah, but not yet. I'm gonna wait till Daphne is ready for it.
Okay, sure. All right.
I'm trying to see if my hands reach.
If your hands reach what?
Keyboard.
Oh. What? You never used that keyboard before?
It's always been at a different proportionally level.
And that's as high as your stool gets there. You know, we have
I'm good.
higher stools?
You gonna hire stools?
Yes.
Okay. I'm
Because they're
not
loose.
touching that with a 10-foot
just keep
Thank
moving.
you. Look at the green circles around my face
bless
where
you.
I poked with a 10-foot
But we do have higher stools if that's not high enough for you for your big old rosy Yamaha keyboard. Yes, I would like to hear a new one first. Is this thing on?
Oh, so you need your bow. We'll do.
Now it is.
Now it
if
is.
I close my eyes. Okay.
Let me know when so that I can cue our
It's in F sharp.
our videographer over here.
Oh, let's. Okay.
All right. Like give him a countdown.
It's
or
really
something.
funny because at the beginning of the song, I kind of rake the piano keys and.
Oh, you said rake.
I said
okay.
rake.
Okay.
Rake.
Okay.
Rake.
Sorry.
R-A-K.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And
Is that something anyone can do?
yeah, anybody
Do
can
you get
do it.
calluses from
Even-
that?
No, but what was your comment, Charlie? Look carefully because Charlie said I looked like a kitty cat in a kitty cat box.
What was that sound?
Yeah.
We will look. We will look
Okay,
carefully.
okay.
Definitely.
All right, now I'm gonna laugh the whole time. I'm doing
Okay,
it.
good.
And
That
this
makes
is
it
a
sound
very
better.
serious song.
Oh, okay. Well,
Very serious.
Okay, let's put
It's very serious.
My serious face on. Definitely, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Do I have a sound? Is that gonna be loud enough? Oh, you have a thingy there. Okay. If I close my eyes and pretend that you're here, my nose to your neck, your breath in my ear, your arms wrapped around me, holding me tight. If I just close my eyes,
If I close my eyes and remember your skin, the beat of your heart, and we give in, I'm so lost without you holding me tight. So I'll just close my eyes. Your voice deep and low, that's where I wanna go. And I can make it so if I just close my If I close my eyes to keep the morning away, make believe I'm asleep, then will you stay? 'Cause I'm so lost without you holding me tight. So I'll just close my eyes. I don't care about tomorrow, can't have yesterday, but I can have you near me if I just close my eyes. If I close my eyes and pretend that you're here, my nose to your neck, your breath in my ear, your arms wrapped around me, holding me tight. If I just close my eyes, if I just close my
Yay! Daphne Rose, ladies and gentlemen. I told you about the whole new break, but did you stop it? Okay, good. Thank you very much. We're gonna post that on YouTube and everything. Trying to subscribe to our YouTube channel and trying to get if we get 1,000 subscribers, then we can stream our video live on YouTube, which is a new thing. Yeah, I know. Is her microphone on?
Had to turn it back up.
Okay, yeah.
No, you're off.
Yeah, you're off.
Yeah,
You don't. It doesn't have to be off.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
what did you?
I'm
Larnell does a music show here on our radio station, Inoculative Expressions, which
Inoculative
it only took me a week to learn that. Name.
Inoculative expressions?
Yeah, inoculative
Yes.
expressions, yes.
It's named after vaccines.
Yes, I like playing the doctor for that.
But
Rewind. Inoculate.
Inoculative.
I thought you said inoculate hip.
Expressions. He didn't want anybody to
Expressions.
remember the name of his show, so he named it that. And also, I wanted to put it on a T-shirt, and that didn't work either.
No.
The print was really small, and
Took up a lot of words.
Reviz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Took up a lot of space.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's
you could do like a
lot of
word
hyphens,
cross on it.
and then they continued on back, and it didn't gel.
But
so
we
I don't,
wish you much luck with it.
So
thanks.
yes,
Good
well,
fortune.
I'm just saying that maybe Larnell would want to talk about local musicians like Daphne Rose or something like that on his show or something like that, because I have no idea what kind of criteria Larnell has. Maybe they bribe him to be on his show or something like that.
It's mostly people that I like and feel like are nice enough to be on the show. It's like local acts, independent, national, international acts. So. Yeah.
So you don't have any malicious intent at all.
No, that would be me.
Oh no. Like I'm not like George. I'm not like George and all that stuff. When I have people on, I make sure I want to get to know them. You know, I ask them the hard hitting questions. You know, I try to.
Like what questions? Ask
Yeah, you can ask Daft hard hitting questions.
Yeah, what's a hard hitting question, Lerner?
Sorry.
Okay, all right. The hard hitting question is all right. Charlie, when you're not playing music, what are you? Okay, so
hold on.
Yes. So Charlie, when you're not playing music, or how about this? Like, what inspires you to play the instrument? Like, what's in your mindset?
Well, that's
when
tricky.
when I'm not playing, I'm listening to recordings of people I like all the time, and I'm just try as hard as I can to sound like those people. Like, you know, a lot of jazz records or what I really listen to.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
You know that George, like, from the last show, actually said something about that very
I'm
topic
always
of
talking
jazz.
How
about
much
that.
he
Everybody
loves jazz.
I love it. And I can't. And I played several jazz songs at the same time to make it jazzier.
Yes. and speaking of that, like Charlie, and I'm definitely, I would like to invite you to like come with me like around the area if there's like an avant-garde jazz concert, you know, to come check it out or something.
You can drive
That
them.
would be a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah.
We do have things like that going on in Hollywood all the time. You know, I'll let you know which events I'm going to avoid, and Larnell can step in
Right.
for me.
How about Charlie happens to be a big fan of Modesky, Martin, and Wood.
Oh yeah, I heard of them. They sound very nice. Yeah, I like their sound. Medeski, Martin, and Wood, actually. Yeah. And actually, before, like, they actually collaborate with John Scofield on a record in the past. So, you're familiar with John Scofield?
Yeah, of course I am. John Scofield's a really nice guy. I met him a few times.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a very nice
I
guitar
know
player.
that.
Yeah.
I follow your Facebook, so I know he's a John Scofield fan. But, as a matter of fact, the only reason I know John
Who he
Scofield's
is
name is
because
from
there's a
Charlie's
picture of me
Facebook.
and
Yeah.
Charlie together.
I like that photo. Oh, look,
He's a
Charlie
nice
and John
guy.
Scofield. I have no idea who he is, but he looks very happy.
Good. So that's why we'll educate.
I can't
you.
like
We'll get
every
Charlie's
genre of
picture.
music. There's got to be one.
I just
Just
love
one.
how I was laughing so hard listening to you wail on jazz. You're like, it hurts my ears.
It does. It
Yes,
makes me wish I
It
was
was
deaf
funny.
or
It was
dead or
so
something.
funny.
Like the way George describes it, I would think to myself, like, shouldn't that be for like almost like hardcore rock? And I like rock, you know. So yeah, you know, because the thing, like, it hurts your ears. It's like when you hear when you hear a bunch of people screaming a lot, that's hurts your
volume.
ears, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, George is an odd creature.
I'm odd.
Yeah, because he's Cuban.
Yeah.
So you would imagine that there's like a zest of Latin flavor.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
you don't like
cellular-
I don't like.
cellular-
No. I do like Latin music. I want to correct people.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Nice.
No. I like Latin music. I don't like Cuban music.
Yes.
Specifically Cuban music.
Gotcha.
What makes Cuban music different from other forms of Latin music?
The beans.
It sounds like jazz.
He means like Latin jazz, that
La-
type of thing. Yeah.
It is the jazz. It is the
Right.
jazz influence in Cuban music.
Let's get him hard.
Please get him. Please
George,
do.
George, you mind if I do a rendition of your favorite song?
Please.
Oh, please. What's my favorite song? Oh, I was gonna play Celia Cruz.
Oh man, yeah.
There's a method to that madness.
Oh yes. I'm sure, George, when you were a child, like, your parents played a lot of Celia Cruz, of course.
Of course. I don't know why. Am I not on?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, okay. I have that stuff turned down. Wait a minute.
You
'cause
ever
this-
go off?
Here's my favorite Cuban song, and actually, I'm not lying. I like Ricky Ricardo. I mean, Desi
I love
Arnaz.
Ricky and Lucy. I love Lucy.
For some reason, I'm not.
real.
I'm not playing it.
Yeah.
I got froze my player up or something. It's not gonna play anything. It's not gonna play La Negrita.
Oh yes.
Hey, did
I
you
can-
say you talked to Bruce?
Bruce? No. Lately? No. No, I haven't. How's he doing?
I've been able to reach him. I miss his face.
Oh no, I mean I thought he's in out. So for some reason my player won't play, and that's really because I was going to play a Cuban song. But here's what I don't like: Cuban music. I could really there's so many things to like about it. I like calypso beats. I like the Latin beat. I have it here. Where's my Guido? I don't know. I put it. Oh, it's in the display case anyway. The raspy fish.
Oh,
I like the. And I like the bongos and the conga drums and everything. And most Cuban songs start with some drumming, and I'm enjoying it up to that point. And then
You just
all
called
of-
a Guido a Guido.
a Guido, a Guiro. Well, I was thinking about that
Guido.
Barilla, the Guiro, and
say
so
Barilla.
so we're doing fine. But then comes the and you're from because anybody down here, you overhear Cuban music every time you walk past one of those little cafeterias with a yellow cooler outside. So then, at some point, the trumpets come in, and it's just like these trumpets are da, 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 like banging out Morse code, da, 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 and they're not with the drums. They're not with the drums at all. They're doing jazz rules. They're just making it up as they go along. And then the piccolo, the peating whistle, beating out another Morse code pattern that totally is not going along with the drums or with the trumpet hits. But then it gets better. Then you have the off-key old man start singing. Go baby, 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 boom, baby, boom, and he's singing along to I don't know what. It's like everybody's wearing headphones and playing along to something completely
Now,
different.
this
and
is hurting your ears, isn't it?
And that's
No,
Cuban
I'm
music.
I'm just thinking.
But that's Cuban music.
No, the
to me.
description.
It's funny. It's
mean-
pretty accurate, but I actually dig it all.
Yeah.
Put
South
together.
American.
I like it.
like
Colombian music is good.
I'm not a musician per se, but I understand and love if you have like a session going on and you've got the bass here, got the piano player here, there's a guitar player there, there's a vocalist there, and then you just get a session going and you create something.
Yeah, because actually I like the Latin sound, in terms of that, like certain, like the only thing I don't like with Latin music at times is that I don't like when it's too contemporized. I don't like when it's too much like filtered in that way and all that stuff. I just feel like, it's almost like as much as smooth jazz or something like that. I'm not really into like,
Right.
smooth jazz in my opinion. I used to, like the thing that got me
this guy, Charlie.
the thing that got me into jazz was actually smooth jazz, and then after a while I just stopped hearing it because every
You want
time
crunchy.
I want something organic. That's what I want, because you notice when you go to weddings you always hear like a Kenny G jazz piece or something like that. Do you
And
notice
you
that?
want to kill them.
Not the thing, but it's more like it's the same thing. You're playing it for every wedding, It's like, come on now, real Kenny G again. I'm not trying to diss his.
You're pretty passionate, Larnell.
I like
I
this.
like
I'm
this.
digging
This is
this.
different.
I'm very passionate.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I agree with
test
you
the nerve.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah, which is good, Daphne, because at first I was kind of nervous that, oh my gosh, she might like smooth jazz too. I don't want to feel like, oh, why do you like, you're like George now. It's like, no,
Sound off
yes.
like you have a pair. Own your opinions there, Larnell.
Yeah.
Do you think Kenny G gets sad every time he hears somebody being mean to him on the radio?
I think he cries and cries.
I think he cries with every sip of wine. I
Yeah.
think he sold about 14 or 30 million.
He
albums.
commiserates with Yanni
Yeah.
when they get together. And
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't knock
they
my
hate
boy
me.
Yanni. I'd so go to a Yanni concert.
Okay, my dearest friend used to be in his band. And,
Really? I have. You want, so this is my music library over here. Watch what happens when I type in Yanni.
0.
Bam!
Wow.
Oh
I'm
my gosh,
surprised.
that's like 20.
Yeah,
30,
I think it's like my Yanni collection
Okay,
is pretty.
all right.
Surprises.
Enjoy.
It's very rousing and inspiring. It's very it's full orchestra.
If
He's
you
got
need to be roused,
melodies.
Go.
What the hell happened there?
I don't know. Maybe you should turn Yanni on and it'll.
Hey, I can't.
It's
For
the
some
Yanni
reason, my player decided not to play. I'm gonna have to find something else. But Yanni music. If it, I have a wonderful Yanni story. Yanni. The first time I heard Yanni, you ready? You ready for this? Because used to live in an apartment in Pembroke Pines, and I had to get my car fixed, and they weren't gonna get it done by the end of the day, and so they said, we'll pick it up tomorrow. And I said, I'm like, I'm stuck here. I can't get a ride. And they said, well, we'll have someone take you. You live far. And I go, no, just a little, like 5 minutes away. And they said, well, the receptionist is going to be leaving soon. So, hey, Julie, or whatever her name is, will you take George home? And she said, okay, sure. Blah, blah, blah. So I get in the car. And she smelled good. She's a very beautiful lady, the receptionist. And she smelled really good. And we get in her car, and her car smelled good. She had some kind of an air freshener there. And she goes,
2 points for her.
do you like Yanni? And I said, I don't think I'm familiar with Yanni. And she goes, well, it's a lot of instrumental stuff. And I said, sure, all for it.
Isn't he the kid singer?
No, that's Raffi.
That's Raffi.
I was getting confused.
Who I also like.
Which is kind of interesting. The only time I listened to Raffi was when I was younger. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on. You're just getting loud.
Loud.
Oh, sorry.
But that's not your fault. It's Jack's.
Okay, but it's just like I remember Raffy back in the when I was a young person in kindergarten, they would play like some Raffy I think it was The More We Get Together or something like that, the children's record or something. So
Yes, Baby Beluga.
Yes.
My Raffi collection. Well, once upon a time, the kids. You got a parent. So I get in her car. She smelled good. She's beautiful. The car smelled good. She puts on some Yanni song. I don't even remember which one it was. The car fills up with this beautiful music, and she's driving me. And we're talking back and forth. We're kibitzing, if you will, and I'm doing kind of well. She's laughing at all my material. Everything that came out of my mouth is funny, and she's
And
a
you
little
smell good,
little bit
too?
younger than me. I smelled good. I think I had a good shave on. Everything was good. I could tell. She kept turning and looking at me and looking me in the eye, and everything was going really well. And I was still very, very married at the time, and so I'm telling her, blah blah blah, left here, okay, take a right here, okay, right up there by the dumpster, because the sidewalk that led to my apartment.
Back to the dumpster. Here we go again.
Oh man,
the
this is like
sidewalk,
dumpster diving
the
day or
sidewalk
something.
that led to my apartment, that was the landmark. It was right. The walkway began at the dumpster box, the big pillbox, the dumpster box. And I got over there, and that song was starting to end, and never that time was going to end, and it was all right. Well, hey, thanks for the ride, and thanks for sure, fine. Well, I'll talk to you later. At this point, I would ask to exchange numbers or anything like that, but it's pointless because a very married man is like, I'm not even gonna. I'm not going to insult her by hitting on her as a married man. So I just said my goodbyes, and she, I opened the door, and immediately the smell from the dumpster hits me. No, did I mention that my marriage was never good at any point?
Right.
I
Did
never
you
had a
just
good
jump back
marriage.
in the car and say,
I just
"Drive me away
so
from here as fast
yeah,
as
it's
you
like
can"?
step out into the stench and into the heat, out of the car AC, out of the beauty, into the stench, into the heat. Close the door, watch her out of the Yanni. There she goes. Sights, sounds, smells. There she goes, pulling away. I turned
Her car was
and
clean
started
too, wasn't it?
trudging the dead weight that was my body up the stairs to my apartment, where I would be greeted by my warm and loving wife.
No, I'm deaf, and this
And
is
a clean and wonderfully clean apartment, and I knew that she would be happy to see me, and the apartment would be clean, and that there would be some, I would be smelling some food, like dinner, like she would be cooking some food, and that she would greet me with some kind words, and how was your day, and things like that, and that was my Yanni story. That's how I was introduced to Yanni. It's all part of that.
So you
audio
wanted to
visuals.
get back there, so you just started
so the next
listening
time
to Yanni.
people,
it's auditory memories are really good.
Oh yeah, and the smell is a very good way
And
to remember
smell,
things.
that's even better.
But when I was in radio, I used to get CDs, boxes and boxes of CDs would show up. The record label people would send us free music in the hopes that we would play some of it on the air. And here was a Yanni disc, and I yoink, and I put that right in, and I'm like, I don't know why are people dogging on this guy? I mean, it's not like, all right, it's not your pop music genre, like they're gonna play this stuff on any radio station anywhere, certainly not down here.
No,
but
you don't hear 'em that much
but what's
anymore.
wrong with it? Like just like contemporary, I don't even know what you'd call that.
It certainly isn't offensive.
No, it doesn't. But they're not all good melodies. But I wish I could get my player going. I would totally violate some copyright laws and play some Yanni for you.
But definitely, I want to ask you a quick question. This is what I usually ask on my shows to artists, but is there a certain type of ritual that you do in order for you to get into the mindset?
Oh, you should see it. It's chickens, blood. There's body paint.
Wow.
Yeah. Just
this is George speaking for Daphne right now.
The whipping. No, I'm sorry. That was the smartest answer. Now the real answer.
I probably should, and sometimes I remember too, and I just have to slow my heartbeat down a little bit and breathe a lot.
Oh, you do breathing exercises?
Not exercises. I just have to slow my heartbeat down and
do you
just
meditate?
Get into the song. Just forget everything else and get into the song. I'm a little disoriented with my height thing going on here. So, but really the most thing you have to do is honor the song. That's it. Forget about yourself, forget about whatever else, just
lose yourself like Eminem said.
Yes.
Oh, but an interesting thing did happen to me recently. And I felt like I was overtaken. And it involves my mom. who passed away March 4th of this year.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I'm still adjusting, and I'm sure I will be adjusting for the rest of my life. But when she passed away, her spirit just left. Everybody's got all these great stories about how this and that and whatever else happened, and I felt like I could not think of her. There's things that she's done for me. I can't take one step in my house without seeing something she built or painted or sewed or created or anything. But during a service, which was actually the service for people who passed away, I was singing, and there was my mom. She stepped like right into my body, totally like half of me and half of her.
You can feel her spirit inside of you.
Completely. She was right there next to me. So I was thinking, maybe Mom won't come and visit me more, because I don't think I ever sang that beautifully. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, the tears were coming down, and usually when you cry, it makes your throat constrict, but nothing. It was just completely wide open and free, and the sound was just coming out. And
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I get all croaky when I cry.
Yeah, it was really.
Cry all the
I don't know.
time.
It's like somebody.
Do you do the ugly cry, George?
An ugly cry?
It's really ugly, yeah. It's not good to see. Yeah. Not hard to make me cry anymore, man. And once somebody breaks you, man, I used to not be a crybaby, and man, now I'll cry. I'll cry at a movie. I'll cry at a red light.
I used to cry at that song Wildfire. It would come on the radio.
Oh my God!
Wildfire! Oh my! Who's that by?
Yeah, I'll find. I'm gonna open up a different music player so that I can play music over here. It's really bugging me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Michael Martin Murphy.
That's on The Simpsons. They made fun of that and go. And now here's another song about a girl and her horse, because they have
it's so funny.
a series of songs like that.
So Daphne, is there a style of music or song that annoys you or anything like that, or gets you inspired or anything?
Like me with Cuban music or jazz.
I want to hear from the artist.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really love. I don't like vulgarity in music or in anything, and I don't like people disrespecting each other. So, I mean, I'm sure that happens in lots of different genres of music.
Right. Even in particular for the fact of like how like people would like call out women being the B word and all that stuff, right?
Like in rap and that some hard rock, but I mean the rap in particular can be very disrespectful.
I definitely see the value, and I see how people enjoy it, and you do your thing on.
Well, we were discussing the video games earlier, and I truly believe that the industry and the artists, whether it was in our day it was the devil rock, that everyone was freaking out about, and now it's rap. But I really believe that it's deliberate. It's a deliberate attempt to sell records by creating controversy and getting people riled up and attention. It's really going for attention. I envision these guys just yucking it up as they're writing these lyrics.
Oh, probably.
Just and then I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to talk about.
And then it's going to get people all riled up. When somebody's heart is in it, I want to hear it. So if it's got to have distasteful stuff in it, I want to hear it. Whether it makes me feel, sad or happy or uncomfortable or, overjoyed, I want to hear it. I do want to hear it. I want to hear almost any kind of music, but all the time, no. Oh my God, my house is so noisy. It's so noisy.
Not in a bad way.
Cue Charlie.
No.
Yeah.
Is Charlie playing the bass too loud? It's like, turn it down, Charlie, turn it down.
Oh my God, and Eric on the piano and the saxophone, and Teddy with the video games all the time. He's playing that, and it's got so much vulgarity on that.
Like Grand Theft Auto.
I'm guessing that. Yeah.
He's got 5 because I posted a thing on his page.
It's
a song.
terrible.
I posted a song on his page.
Did you?
Yeah, Grand Theft
no.
Auto song.
Oh, good.
Oh boy.
And I also Breaking Badified his name.
Oh, did you? What's his name now?
Oh, well,
T-Rock
well,
or something?
you watched. You're familiar with the imaging.
Yeah.
Of Breaking Bad.
Well, I had to watch it with him so that I could go, oh, that's terrible. Oh, nobody does that. And it's actually a really good show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so. How happy is he now?
I don't know.
Right?
He liked it.
Oh, holy cow! That is awesome.
Looked way better than mine. It's good when you can get like 2 letters going there. I put my name in there. It was just yeah.
What is the element TE?
Oh man,
Yep.
I'm
Charles?
failing.
Got you.
Right, Colin.
The S is going to be sulfur. The TE, I don't know.
It's not-
I want to. I don't.
Beryllium?
It might be
Let's
tungsten.
make
It
up
might be one of those
something.
ones that
Let's
I'm
make
going to
up
look it
one.
up. Oh no.
Terranium.
I want to say.
Yes.
Yes. This is gonna be an odd segue, but I want to get into like what you cook
No.
because I always hear from George, like even from Michael Stock on the show, like
Tellurium.
like
Tellurium, you were seriously?
not
That's
about
what I
what you,
thought I made up. That's
Yeah.
from that song. How does
Yes.
it go, Charlie? Remember you had the chemistry teacher that said if you learned it, how does it go? Started at least.
I don't.
There's a
I don't
chemistry
remember-
song?
I don't remember what it was, but it had the melody of
Oh,
the Gilbert
but you
and
have to
Sullivan
say
song.
there's borium and then doobie dubba doobie dubba doobie dubba doobie. Come on, Teddy knows it.
That's how I remembered the books of the Bible.
Cooking.
boy.
And the preamble of the Constitution
oh yeah.
Oh.
Grandma memorized
through
it
songs.
She was driving with one eye.
Oh.
The Elements song?
The Constitution.
Oh, the Constitution.
Oh, really?
I have the Constitution in my glove compartment.
With her
The
French
actual
accent.
the Constitution, you have that. Just okay.
She listened to it on CD in her van, and then she
read it.
Oh, she read it?
She was driving.
Oh, no.
Wow.
The preamble or the whole damn
The
thing?
whole thing. And
Wow.
She read the preamble, and she was blind in one eye.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a good eye.
Wow, like that's a way of studying the Constitution right there. It's like just keep on saying it. keep
While
on
you're
saying-
driving.
Yes. Yes. But I'm getting back to cooking. Like, what do you usually cook when you have people over?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I don't cook so much anymore.
Charlie's an excellent cook.
But I mean, ever since the kids were little, when we have a recipe, you got to try to involve them. So when we made meatballs, it was each kid cracks an egg. So it's obviously you put 3 eggs in every pound of meat or whatever you do. And then when you make cookies or something, everybody puts an ingredient. So, you'd have peanut butter, coconut, chocolate chip cookies. That might be pretty awesome. What's that?
Don't you know?
I can't hear. Oh, you got him playing. Are you
I'm playing
phasing
it.
back? Are
Do you know what this
feeling
is?
happy? It's Yanni.
No, it's not Yanni. Just wait for it.
Oh no! You're gonna make me cry. No, God.
Well, later we'll play Puff the Magic Dragon, and then I'll cry.
I made a bunch of second graders cry.
You told me that story.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That's a horrible,
It was.
horrible
I got
song.
fired eventually.
I don't
Not
understand.
fired, but
I
I
don't
moved on.
I don't understand why people write sad songs or sad movie scripts or sad stories. It's
Because it
like
evokes
why
emotion.
why for people like my wife who likes tragedy, who's
Oh.
I just like she just like thrives on tragedy, which ought to explain a lot. Every movie that she ever really made, you got to watch this movie. Watch it, with the exception of Gone with the Wind, which I guess that's kind of tragic too. But she's making me watch all these tragedies where horrible things happen to people, and then more horrible things happen to them. And I think of songs like Puff the Magic Dragon, what was it? Peter, Paul, and Mary? Who did the original?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why on earth? Why I want to just grab them and shake them. Why on earth would you write a song like this? Especially, it's obviously
kind of for kids.
for kids.
I know.
Like-
I made the mistake of not thinking ahead, and I was with some second graders, and we'll play the different rhythms of the songs. We'll talk
Sure.
about minor chords,
That's
and
a
major
classic.
chords, and whatever, and then we'll analyze the lyrics.
And there
Oh,
was the
and
problem.
there it went. My
Yeah.
cat died. Oh, I'm so sorry. My grandfather. Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole room was
Sure.
crying.
Wow.
Yes.
Seriously.
Every scab.
I couldn't rescue.
Yes.
But you know what, Daphne, I kind of have a similar view when it comes to music, but I also am across the board. I like to hear the dark stuff just to know what it sounds
Yeah.
like, but you don't want to stay there too long because the music is so powerful. You can end up depressed.
Yeah.
So it's I
true.
completely understand
Yeah.
where you have to stand away from it.
Or just like I like the whole idea to where artists can be able to be honest and be able to if they have a dark place that you want to talk about, then you can talk about from an honest place as a way of releasing. So,
I wish
Yeah.
my songs were happier.
They're,
Well,
they're plenty
Some of them
happy.
aren't,
but
but-
but but your songs do come from an honest place though. That's why yeah.
When a snowflake meets a butterfly, my favorite, as you know,
Aw,
is
I sent you a recording of it.
it's a tad melancholy.
It is. It sure is. Yeah.
So
It made George cry.
It does. It makes me cry too.
It makes me a little misty-eyed, I gotta say. And I don't know if you're familiar with Lana Del Rey, just giant collagen lips. Her song "Summertime Sadness," which is now on. They remixed it and made a dance tune out of it, so now it's all over the radio. Up until then, it was just on my Pandora. But my dear 11-year-old, it makes me cry like Niagara Falls, and so my 11-year-old will refuses to allow it to be played in my company because of that. She won't play it, and if someone else
plays it,
like
she will
like
shut
Anna,
them
she'll
down.
she'll shut it down. She does not. She doesn't like sad songs, and she doesn't like to see sad people, and she won't see it. Are you familiar with the song? I mean, it's sad. It's a very
No. Are you gonna cry?
I'll cry if I play this thing. And also, it reminds me of Summertime Sadness. Coincidence that the song came out in the summer and I was going through some sadness in the summer.
Oh no! Stop! Why do you do this to yourself?
Okay. All right. Stop.
This is the chorus, kind of. This is. Anyway.
Yeah. That sounds sad. That has a.
It gets sadder.
Oh crap!
I mean, that's kind of what the chorus sounds like right there, and then she does some lyrics, and then when she gets back into the chorus, she takes a big old breath, and gets sad, and I get sad.
Definitely. Have you ever seen that movie Les Miserables or anything?
Yeah, sure.
Les Mis.
Yeah.
Les Mis. Like
Les
I heard
Miserables.
about. I heard about. I seen the trailers, but I just haven't seen it because
It is so sad.
It's too sad. It's too sad. It's
It's
just.
so
It's about
Yeah.
2 hours, isn't it? 2 hours of sadness.
2 hours of unfairness.
Thank you. I
don't-
live it.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
That's terribly sad. So back from not being sad, I want to hear another Daphne song at
You
some
want to
point.
hear another
I
Daphne
do,
song?
I do, because we
Shall
schlepped
torture
all this
you?
equipment up
Can
here.
we torture you?
Absolutely torture me.
Torture him.
Please,
Come on, are we
please. That's
into-
why I want people on the show.
Right?
Yeah, you're gonna play some
Let's
jazzy
torture
stuff, some
All right, we're gonna torture you.
some jazz. Yeah.
Well, no. I
Play
mean,
it. Leave
yes,
along.
but not.
Or you're gonna make me cry.
No. Although this song does make me cry. Well, and yet not, depending on how badly I sing it.
Oh.
I always love this song. I got an F in arranging from Billy Pierce for this song because I wrote a chart and it had all these like clusters and stuff and coming apart. And I liked the way that sounded, but apparently he thought that wasn't how it should go. And with the using Facebook 20 years later, it's like, Billy Pierce, do you remember me? He's a tenor player, and he's on the faculty still at Berklee College of Music in Boston, where I went. And I said, you gave me an F on
on your on your composition.
and he was like, oh, Daphne, I remember you. I'm so sorry I was going through some bad times or whatever. And,
And she gave.
I kept it because I loved it. I loved the way it sounded, and he gave me an F. And he was such a great guy, which is why I really looked up to him, or else I wouldn't have cared.
Up until the great.
No, it broke my heart for all those years.
It just crushed it, just like it was like that's it.
Yeah, I've had my musical heart broken quite a few times.
And that's this song.
Yes, and this is the song that I wrote a chart on. So this is not obviously my composition. It's the great Thelonious.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yes. I saw a picture of him once.
Yeah, Charlie was in it, right? That's how you know.
Yeah.
No, it was at a restaurant here on Hollywood Boulevard.
So I am not going to play piano. This is just going to be like a bass voice
Ooh,
thing. So
wow.
we're going to see
That's exciting.
if we can
Okay.
get. I got to open my ears and hope that I can get to that special place. Mommy, where are you?
Not at the cameraman when you.
Okay.
Give the cameraman a nod when you're ready. When you're ready for him to press that button.
Give him
'cause
a
I'm gonna
nod.
Put this on the tube on our channel.
It begins to tell round midnight, I do pretty well till after sundown. Supper time, I'm feeling sad, but it really gets bad round midnight. Memories always start round midnight, haven't got the heart to stand those memories when my heart is still with you, and oh, midnight knows it too. When some quarrel we had needs mending, does it mean that our love is ending? Darling, I need you. Lately I find you're out of my arms. I'm so out of my mind. Let our love take wing some midnight, round midnight. Let the angels sing for your returning. Let our heart be safe and sound when oh midnight comes around. When oh midnight comes
All right, you
Snap
make
your
that
fingers,
sound.
snap
You
your
make that
fingers.
sound good. I would like jazz
Snap
way
your
more.
fingers, snap your fingers, snap your fingers.
I like all that. I like all the beatnik stuff, all the trappings. I like berets and espresso and bongos and everything.
Back to mom. She drove a little scooter through France, running because I know
Listen to that.
stuff with her black beret.
I'm playing you in the background as out music. This enables us to talk and enjoy your music at the same time. And the show, we get to end the show with a Daphne song and talk.
Real Starbucks-esque.
Yes.
That's where I want to album. That's my market. I'm
Right.
gonna get that Starbucks thing.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't have bookstores anymore, but they used to. I think they still have one at
yeah.
Target. The little player. The little player thing.
The little sample player.
Yes.
Yeah. Get on there. That's big
That's
time.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing with volumes over here. So Saturday night, not tonight. Saturday night, Luna Star Cafe.
You've even got George talking like real zen, like Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Oh, look at
Luna Star
Sorry.
Cafe.
Okay.
I'm feeling all groovy.
You got an effect, Daphne.
Thank
This isn't. She does have an effect, don't she? and she has an after effect too. You'll see when she does.
Yes. George will be wearing a pinstripe suit. Yeah.
Luna Star Cafe. It's on 125th and
7th and 8th.
that way, in between 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I think
Avenues?
across from MoMA.
Mocha.
Mocha.
Yes.
That's a coffee.
Yes, that's actually Museum of Contemporary Art.
Contemporary
By Ricard, yes.
And you go on at like 8. Is that what the?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Is that the idea?
It's sponsored. Blah, 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 blah.
I do that all the time.
It's sponsored by the Acoustic Folk Underground.
Right.
Acoustic, yay.
What's that all about?
Folk.
I mean, I heard you talk about it. Last week when you called in when Michael Stock was
South
here.
Florida's folk club approached me. So if my music fits into that genre, and some of it does, I think.
Sure.
Far out.
Can you
No.
if it's acoustic, you're not allowed to use an electric piano? Is that like you
Yeah,
have to use a
I have
real
to
one?
play silent. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my piano.
And your actual piano, like that baby grand that's in your house?
Yeah.
Really? Does
Mhm.
Charlie have to carry that?
He makes me carry. Don't. No.
Right. Good boy.
You can't even carry it too.
I was waiting for that. That's great.
Why did I go there? But
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But how?
But it's fun. We
So-
start a little early.
people that want to join or know more about the Acoustic Underground, they Google that. There's a Facebook page or something. You don't know about it? I guess we'll find out about it when we get
South Florida
there.
Folk Society. And a shout
Call
out.
Michael Stock. He knows all about it.
He knows everything about that.
Or else go on gotfolk.com if you want to know more about the folk.
That's
happenings.
true.
Yes.
That's true. But it's on the Lunastar webpage.
Streaming live from the beautiful city of Hollywood, Florida, U.S.
We're on the show a minute ahead. It's 58:50, man.
Who's that?
That was our announcer. Mr. Announcer Man.
58:40.
Is when you start the out music. 59:40 is when you play the ID.
Yeah, you're right.
And now we have there's still more song here.
Yeah.
According to this thing, I think you timed your song out wrong, Daphne. I thought I back timed it out perfectly, man. It's 4:40. I'm gonna back time this out all the way up to the top of the hour over there. I would yell at my producer for putting that time down on there because I know you didn't do it on your MySpace music. Lunastar Cafe between 7th and 8th Avenue on 125th Street. Just go east from I-95, and it'll be there 8ish o'clock. Every beer in the world. Is this going into another song? Wow, that's amazing.
Boca.
And we'll be there, like a whole bunch of beers and yummy food, and you can hit the ID now. How's that?
Streaming live from the beautiful city of Hollywood, Florida, USA. This is SoFloRadio.com.